Hello, good evening, folks, and welcome once again to some F1 Manager. Oh, stand by. Apologies. Right, put the phone away. Constant interruptions will be occurring this evening. Right, hello, good evening, folks. Welcome back once again to F1 Manager 22. So, hello, Ollie. Good evening, sir. So, yes, here we are. It was supposed to be CK2 this evening, but I've been in recovery mode today. Having had a fair few drinks last night and a late one, so all the preparation required for CK2 I haven't done. I couldn't face it today, so I just wanted something I could just sit down this evening, chill out, and just put on without any preparation, and hopefully can play for a good couple of hours or so. Just the one race, and then I can watch Happy Valley and go to bed early. So that's the plan. Right, anyway, so yes, we are here at the Miami International Autodrome, which is a brand new circuit to the calendar for 2022. So I didn't watch the race actually. I think I was in London when this race was on, so I missed this race in real life, and I have raced here once in my Williams save. I wasn't overly impressed with the track, to be honest with you. It just seemed very dull, but anyway, that's my opinion. But here we are. We're 34 points. We've had a couple of decent races where we picked up some nice points. So let's hope that we can carry that momentum forwards today. Yes. I'm hoping that doesn't happen today, or perhaps I'll just leave him to his own devices. Because I mean, clearly micromanaging worked in Imola. We lost 3 positions at the time. Would we have lost the same amount of positions had we just left him? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure actually, but I felt like I was doing something useful. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully my drivers can make my life easy today, because yeah, I'm not in top shape. But I have cut my hair. If you see, I've had a hair shave. Shaved my hair off. My summer coat. Several months too early, clearly. But anyway, right. So we've got a couple of things to tidy up before we head on out to our next race. So first of all, if we go to our cars, we now have the potential or the slots available to design a new project, because our front wings, plural, were completed. So first things first is we need to build our new front wings here. So the ML22 front wing number 2, very creatively named, but it gives us some nice little upgrades to some of our stats, as you can see here. So we're going to manufacture those and want them both manufactured for the next race. So let's have a quick peek. We can see that the next race is in 11 days. So if we do 2, we get them both within 6. We'll have 1 spare. We'll still get them all within the allotted time. It's going to cost us 300 grand. We could rush it, and that's going to cost us a little bit more, but we're going to get these well within time. So 3 new wings. I mean, ultimately 2 spares is fine as well, just in case somebody knocks a wing off. But that will be ready on the 12th day, so maybe not. Let's hope they both don't knock a wing off, otherwise they're going to be screwed, aren't they, really? They'll have to use an old spec wing if they damage it. So take care of it, chaps, because, we'll only have 3. So that's That's perfect. That's perfect. We'll complete those. Fantastic. So, should have our front wings available. And no, we can't rename the parts, which is a bit of a bummer. Again, probably licensing issues or something, I would imagine. But it would be quite cool to be able to name your parts, you know. It would be quite cool. Trying to think of a nice name for our front wing. Ollie, I'm sure you can oblige. Annie, good evening, welcome. So now that we have a spare slot, we can now design another part for our car. The floor is being designed, will be ready in 22 days. So it's time for us to design a rear wing. Because why not? So right back in the very first session, I said that for us to maximise our performance, it's best off, especially early on, that we focus on the downforce, the low speed and medium speed and the high speed cornering, because they are the stats that matter, crucial and are recommended across most of the circuits in some guise or another. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Now, if you also remember the rule change for next season, where do I see this? Board, probably. Rules and regs. Yes, there you go, technical regs. So the technical regs for next season only affect the wings. I don't need to strain my brain. Okay, I'll let you off. So we're losing 10% on the high speed, 20% on the medium, and 30% on the low speed. So we're also losing a little bit of airflow sensitivity, apparently, which I wasn't aware of. And on the rear wing, it's the same. We're losing 10% of the high, 20% of the medium, and 30% of the low speed. So what I was thinking is that when we start to design our wings for this season, perhaps we should try to offset this little regulation change a little bit. So we put most of our efforts into specialising in low speed and then taper it off to medium and then less so on the high, so that we kind of offset this a little bit. So more low speed focus on our rear wing, for example. So with that in mind, let us proceed onwards to designing a new rear wing. We could actually do some research for next season to further negate the impact of the regulation changes, but considering that our expertise is so low, it's actually more beneficial to build your expertise with current parts at this moment in time. We might do a couple of research projects at the back end of the season, but for now let's continue with our current designs. Hello Charm, hello Holler, good evening and welcome. How's my week been so far? My week has been steady away. I've had an interesting weekend. Went to a poker night last night, hence why I'm feeling ropey today. Oh god. So yeah, Friday, my usual affair, going to a friend's house, usual stuff, dinner, drinks, home for about midnight, cup of tea, couple of biscuits and bed, lovely. Saturday, had a bit of a lazy Saturday, went to poker night last night, 10 people, finished third, so I got my £10 back, £10 buy-in. Winner got 80 quid, second place got 40, third place got the money back. So got my money back, so but we didn't finish until 1:30, so I got home at 2 in the morning, and I'd not eaten since 4 because I thought we were going to get food there. But nobody ordered food when we were there, so it was like, I'm starving, I've not eaten since 4 p.m, it's now 1:08, it's now by the time I got home it was 2 in the morning. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm starving. Ordered a takeaway at 2 o'clock in the morning, rather than, I don't know, just having some cheese and toast or something, you know, just something light to go to bed on. Oh, no, not me, no. What I actually did was proceed to order a snack box, which contained a flame-grilled cheeseburger with some nice burger sauce, onions and lettuce and stuff. Very tasty, very delicious. Cajun fries, chicken wings, and doner meat with all kinds of some sort of spicy chili sauce, which was actually quite delicious. You know, when you've had several drinks and it's 2 in the morning, this kind of food it suddenly becomes like 5-star dining. So that was my little snack box at 2 in the morning. Did I eat it all? Of course I did, save for a few pieces of donomy. And then went straight to bed after devouring all that. I mean, that's not good, is it, for a start? So I skipped breakfast this morning, clearly, because I was still full. Oh. So that was why I was in recovery mode today. I got up at half 11 to go and help a friend with something. Went over, helped her for about 45 minutes and said, sorry, I can't stay. I'm off back to bed. So I'm back to bed. And got up at 4. So yeah, I've had a very lazy day. So that's how my weekend has been, Cham. And, you know, it's very rare that I go overly hardcore when it comes to alcohol anymore. But, yes, I had a fair few. Whew. Anyway. And I've just now had my dinner, because I thought I'll have my dinner now so I don't get interrupted, which consisted of mashed swede, mashed sweet potato, pigs in blankets, lamb shoulder, carrots, sprouts, cauliflower cheese, and a Yorkshire pudding. I've not even eaten half of it because I'm stuffed, but it was delicious. Fresh lamb shoulder from my brother who bought it down a couple of weeks ago. So yes, I'm now satisfied and ready to be hitting the regime again this week to get back on my health kick. And Siloka, oh my god, thank you so much. Been watching your content for over 10 years. I don't get to join your live streams much due to real life. Currently binging your Witcher 3. Oh, thank you so much for your kind donation, and glad you're enjoying, and thank you for watching for such a long time. Thank you so much. Right then, so shall we get this rear wing designed? I'm flapping my gums. Now, of course, we don't have any ATR periods, any CFD or any wind tunnel hours to use here. But the new ATR period starts in 7 days, actually, so we're going to hold off on this for 7 days until we can then use some more wind tunnel hours. So let's forget that for now. We'll design that in 7 days, which will be before the start of the next race anyway. So we'll just hang fire on that one. So how long until our facility is built? 35 days, which will allow us to do 3 design slots. So one of our design slots we could actually use for research, as Ollie said, just so that we can see what it's like. So we'll do that. We'll split our CFD time accordingly. We'll have to think about it. Maybe split it into 3 ways, because the floor will be finished in 20 days too. So things are all going to come together roughly at the same time. So we'll use a third of our allocation on the rear wing, a third of our allocation on a second underfloor, I think, and then a third allocation on a research project for the front wing. I think that's going to be the plan. Anyway, so yes, that's that. So nothing else to do then. We're doing the building of the parts. The designing will come in 7 days. For now, you can just skip forward then. And hospitality area has been upgraded. And we get some stuff. Board confidence check-in. The board are satisfied. Satisfied. They should be ecstatic, for God's sake. Finance report. Let's have a look at the finance report. Is it looking good? Season balance, projection. We're below projection, but still pretty healthy. Breakdown. We've spent 83 million. No, sorry. We've spent 76 million. We've had 83 million come in. Therefore, we have netted 7 million profits. Clearly, we're not spending enough cash here. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're being far too frugal. Right, perfect. Cost cap, let's have a look. 85 million left of the cost cap, which is fine. ATR period starts today. Excellent. And there we go. So now we can design our rear wing. So let's get that done, shall we? Design rear wing. There we go. So we're going to split this into a third now. So can people do the maths here? They tolerate us. We've built them a reasonably decent room with a table and a projector. Now it's level 2. Next we're going to give them some windows or something. I mean, come on. What are they asking for? Right, what's a third of 5.1? Hello? Instant maths. 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 3.4, 1.7, isn't it? Yeah, okay, very good. So 1.7 hours there. Wind tunnel, 53. How much wind tunnel hours have we got? 68. Divide that by 3. 21. 22. It's 66, isn't it? Right, okay, that'll do. There we go. Split it into 3. Right, so a third on the rear wing. A third on the underfloor, third on the research project. I think that works. Right, okay, perfect. So that is that. Let's go forward. And now our focus. Our focus. So we need to focus on this. So if we were to do this, that'd be 418, 416, 413. So they all increase, but the most increase occurs when these aren't so heavy. So we're going to taper it off a little bit like that, so that that gets the most focus. That gets a little bit more. That gets. I want a bit more than that. Maybe something like that. Maybe 416, 416, 417, 463. Okay, that's it. Taper that. Drag reduction. Takes the speed down, but does increase. Does increase the cornering, so take the drag reduction down a little, couple of clicks maybe. Okay, also increases the airflow sensitivity, which is also being hit by the rule change. So if we do that, that'll take the top speed down. That'll take the cornering down and the top speed down. So we keep that in the middle actually. DRS delta though needs to go down because that'll take the cornering up as well a touch. And put the airflow sensitivity up as well, so quite like that one. Even more so there. So even better cornering there, isn't there? Yeah. So we'll take that down 2 clicks, I think. DRS delta. Obviously we're still getting more top speed, but not quite as much as we would. Debating. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So again, a rear wing that is heavily focused on maximising cornering. So that seems to be pretty decent. Let's see how that pans out. And engineers, we're going to split our team into 3, so that'll be 3 lots of 3, which is 9. So we'll use 3. We'll use. See, let's look at the days here. We're going to go intense, of course. 56 days, 51 days. We're talking between 5 days here. I mean, come on. So we'll stick with the 2 for now. We'll stick with this for now. 2.5 million for this rear wing. Jeez. Okay, it's going to be completed in 56 days. Perfect. There we go. So rear wing is being designed. Bingo bango. Perfectamundo. Oh, is it released Brentford next week? Oh, happy days. Be another loss then, will it? God, it's depressing watching Leeds at the minute. Right, hello Hank, welcome. Right, so let's do some race prep then. So performance targets, we'll bang these out first. So our main performance target is to reach Q3 with just 1 driver. We've done that for the past couple of races. Thank you very much, Lando, for your contributions. Qualifying position, I'm saying 12th. 14th and above for 2 drivers, nets us 178 grand, which is conservative enough for me at the moment. Reaching Q2 with both cars should be a given, so that's an easy one to do. And finishing position, fastest lap clearly not. One driver finishing at least 12th, again should be doable. And qualifying streak and finish position streak. So our finish position streak is to finish 14th with one driver 3 times. We've done it twice so far, one more and we get a nice little $500,000 payment. The qualifying streak has reset again, I think, because we've done that now, so it's back to reset that, so that should be fine as well. So let's have a look at the circuit then. So this is Miami. Let's have a look at the let's have a look at the car attributes. So this is a low speed where it is recommended, but high speed is crucial, and high speed cornering is our strongest suit. So this could be a track that suits us pretty decently, so you know, pushing into that top 10 should be an option here. Quite a fast, as you can see from the sectors there, lots of purple straight sections there. Quite a high speed circuit. 24 seconds time loss in the pits, which is average. It's our first race here, so no info on safety cars, but it is a street circuit, so that tends to bring out safety cars more often than not. So expected strategies, we've got 1 stop or 2. We'll have to go into the strategy menu to see the benefits of those, but we'll see what the tyres are saying. The tyres are saying that the softs are about 4 tenths quicker than the mediums, but the drop off is over 1/10 of a second per lap, so they don't last that long. How many laps is this race? 57. Okay. Mediums drop off 1/10 a lap, and then the hards are very close in performance to the mediums, but more durable and less drop off. Interesting. That is very interesting, in fact. Because immediate yeah. Literally, if the drop off is 1/10 of a second per lap on the mediums, within three laps, the mediums will be doing the same lap times as the hards, if my maths is correct. So the hard is clearly a better race time than the medium. So that would be an interesting strategy. Right, okay, excellent. So medium hard, I'm thinking, because yeah, good old boring. We might split the strategies today just for a bit of variety. See what we can do. Might do a 2-stop with Daniel. But anyway, we'll see.
We're in the state of year-round summer. It's the Miami Grand Prix, and we're here in Florida.
Oh, we're here in
Miami
Florida.
International Autodrome. The streets of Miami Gardens will come alive with the roar of racing, and the excitement is only just beginning. Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with a stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
So there you go, folks. Miami Stadium. Is that like, there must be more than one stadium in Miami, right? Because we drove past, en route to our cruise terminal, a stadium in Miami. It was their main football stadium, or soccer stadium, I should say, for you Americans over there. But I can't imagine it's exactly the same stadium that we passed, surely. I mean, it could be, I suppose. Basketball stadium, football stadium. Right. Whoa, now look at this. This is Miami, and we've got some rain. Look at that. We've got rain on the race day. Now, that could lead to some drama and excitement, couldn't it? Oh, yes, indeed. We love a bit of rain, folks. We love a bit of drama. We love a bit of drama. Right, okay. So we're going to try to whiz through practice as quickly as possible. Right, so front wings at the ready. Look at that. New front wing. Let's see how our front wing improves our performance. Will it be noticeable? Remember where we've been qualifying roughly? Sort of between 10th to 14th-ish has been our sort of qualifying zone, battling with the Alpha Tauris and the Alpines. The Alphas probably just a little bit too quick for us at the minute, but let's see how this pans out now. But we're going to go to our practice engine. There we go, as per usual, and our practice gearbox. Okay, as per usual. There we go. So that's the car parts done for Mr. Ricardo there. Car setup. Right, my car setup, I have written it down because I have used being on this track before. Now, this is not going to be guaranteed to be the sweet spot for these drivers because every driver is slightly different, but it gets us in the right ballpark figure, which is as much as we could hope for. I don't anticipate tweaking this too much today to save time. Run plan, 20 laps. Okay, there we go. So that's Mr. Ricardo taken care of. Let's have a look now. Let's get the new wing on for Lando, and let's get the practice engines in, practice gearbox in. Okay, and car setup. All right. Okay. Okay, 3.35 and 0.25. Okay, there we go, and 20 laps. Like that, okay, and conserve as much as possible. So that is us ready for practice now. Hello, Baz. Good to see you again. Happy New Year. Next Plague Tale video. Tomorrow is CK2 stream, which means that Tuesday I have got earmarked for a Plague Tale upload, and Wednesday, if I don't play football, which I don't plan to at the moment, but will be a stream of Mortuary Assistant. Otis, good evening, Otis. Good to see you. Glad you're enjoying. Right, let's get going. I think we're done. Just shout if you think I've forgotten something, please. I usually forget things. Very forgetful.
Radio check.
Radio check, radio check. Check, check. Sound check.
Radio is good.
Checking for sound, checking for quality, and just
Sessions should be starting now.
whiz through the session as quickly as possible, whilst keeping off the curbs and driving in clean air, clearly, to protect the car. And we shall do the full run of 20 laps and then check the car setups for all the drivers. See what the crack is with the setups. So we are already halfway through January. Can you believe that already? I don't know where the hell the time is flying off to, but anyway. So it never rains, but it pours, right? So I purchased some new double glazing for my bedroom. Right here, there's a draft because these are old double glazed windows that have been in for about 30 years. Clearly, a bit knackered now. So I bit the bullet and decided to buy a new set of windows, and also for the front door. I think I might have already mentioned this before, but the front door is the main front door. Crash? Who's crashed? Who cares? Just get yourself driving, okay?
Crashed out!
I don't care. Stop slowing my time down.
Do you just want to give a very quick bit of feedback?
Bit of feedback.
It's pretty even.
Ooh.
Okay, understood.
Pretty even doesn't scream good to me, does it? What's Daniel saying? Daniel? Great. Daniel likes it. Lando not so much, which is fine. Yeah, so the original doors that are currently in the house are the original doors that were built in the front doors, original doors that were built with the house in 1930 something or other. So it's about time that we replace them. You know, they've been in for nearly 100 years. For God's sake, this is I'm not kidding you. They're the original doors. So they've stood in the 1930s. Another crash. They built things to last. You know what I mean? They were messing about when they built things in the good old days, because these doors are still standing fast. The only thing they're not doing is keeping the warmth in the house because of the draft. Because clearly, you know, insulation wasn't quite so big a priority in 1930 something. So I've bitten the bullet and decided to go for a double glazed, all singing composite door. And with side panel, because these doors are actually old style double doors, so a panel on one side, composite door on the other, and a new set of double glazing windows here in this bedroom. So that's set me back several pennies. And just when you think, right, I've forked out now, I've waited till the January sales have come round, and so I'll talk whilst the session ends and I get no time with my cars here. 86, we'll take that. We'll wait for the bands to narrow a little bit, and then we'll do a bit more tweaking, but I'm quite happy with that, to be quite honest with you. Set of mediums, and a second run of 20 laps should be fine. There you go. Knock yourself out. Lando's is at 76, which is still not horrendous, really, but yeah, could do with a bit more on that one, so we'll play with that in a second. Sending back out. Send out. There we go. Go do your stuff. So yeah, forked out for that, and was looking forward. I've obviously saved up for it over the course of last year. Knew I was going to be getting it done in January. This earmarked the January is the best time to do it because of the sales and whatnot. So wasn't a major blow. And then on Friday, the guttering blew off in the wind. We had some really bad winds, bit of a storm, and the guttering at the back blown off. A couple of slates off the roof as well. It's like, for God's sake. So that's going to be another expense, because I ain't going up and fixing it myself. You having a laugh? Don't do heights. So that was another thing to add to the list. And then, just today, my mother's, the water in the sink isn't going down properly. Went outside, and the drain overflowing, blocked, clearly. I'm like, for God's sake, what's next going to happen in this house? But anyway. Yeah, doors ain't cheap.
Okay, Lando, that is the end of the session.
And either, yeah. I'll let you guess how much it cost for a front door and a bay window. It's quite a large bay. It's a 3-panel bay. Side window, main window, another side window. So a three angled bay. And a front door with a panel. In pounds. Not bloody cheap, I tell you. Right, okay, so practice session 1 done. Let's have a look at the setups now that we've done a second run. See if we can tweak them and maybe a little smidgen. 2.5 just for the door. Yeah, that's about right. So add a window on top of that. It's bloody not cheap. Right, okay, so 12 out of 15, which is fine. Setup good. Let's have a look at next session. Practice session 2. Let's crack on. Second set of soft tyres goes on. Confidence of the setup goes down. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep it as it is. I think the straight line speed probably has to come down this way a bit. But as I said, I'm not overly going to be tweaking the setups until the very last bit when the bands are really small. So we're going to do I'm going to do a longish run here. So I'm going to go in the hard compound, in fact, and do a 25-lap run. I'm going to get a long stint in early here. With both drivers. Get some long running done here. Okay. Alright, so definitely the straight line speed needs to come down a touch. That's fine. 25 laps, that's fine. There we go. Right, hard tyre on both, long runs on both. Go.
And rear check. Yeah, all good. Track should be green now.
Okay, off the tootle. And there we go. And there we go. But we used the same company that we used when we got the rest of the house windows done 5 years ago. Because we had the whole house done, windows, apart from the 2 sets of stained glass windows. One in the landing and one in the hallway. We've got the original stained glass windows that were built with the house in the 1930s. And serious, because it's a stained glass window, period feature, don't want them replacing, thank you very much, quite like them. So the stained glass windows remained, but every other window in the house was done apart from my bedroom window, because it was already double glazed, and the downstairs living room patio doors / windows also were double glazed. So we left those. However, they're old, and yes, the seals are gone. So technically speaking, should really have got them done at the same time. But I was like, yeah, we can cope, it's fine. We'll get them done down the line, and hence that's what we did. So, but it's the same company that did them. So we were very satisfied with their work, and very satisfied with the price that they gave, because we got like 4 or 5 quotes last time. So we were, you know, they were very reasonable. Uh-oh. Who's crashed?
Currently yellow flags. Yeah, confirm.
Who's crashed? Oh, it's Vettel. Why am I messing around? Don't need to know about it, thank you. Am I done and I do all of it together? What, like DIY stuff? Yeah, our next door neighbour is a Jim will fix it. That's probably the wrong phrase nowadays, isn't it? Really, but yeah, our next door neighbour is a jack of all trades. He can fix anything. He was a qualified electrician and plumber, so he can do all the gas, all the electrics. He can do anything to do with, you know, he could probably fix guttering and stuff. You know, mechanics. You know, very very good wizard when it comes to those kind of things. He was our saviour, if you remember, 3 years ago when our boiler packed in on New Year's Eve. Remember that? I was playing Beat Cop at the time. I remember sat drinking port, playing Beat Cop with an electric heater whirring in the background. Yeah, I hope he's... Yeah, yeah. Let's hope not. So, yeah. And he fitted my blinds, you see, and what they... oh, for God's sake, now it's crashed now, who cares? So,
Sounds like there's been a crash.
The surveyor came out on Friday to measure up the window and the doors and finalise the order, and give me a list of things to do to prepare for their arrival. 6th of February is the date that they've given to install these things. And apparently I've got to take my blinds down in preparation for that. I'm like, what? Take the blinds down? They're fixed to the window frames, drilled in. I was here when my neighbour did them for me. The cheapest way to do it was I measured the blinds myself, the windows, and I can't remember the name of the site, but you go online and you just order the blinds to fit. So you punch in the size that you've measured, and they send the blinds out to you. And it was like £100 for the full bay's worth of blinds, which was very cheap. And then my neighbour fitted them for me for free. Very kind of him. I was going to pay him for them, but he said, don't bother, don't worry, he said. So he fit them, and I remember him drilling them in and messing around. They expect me to take the blinds down for them? Are you having a laugh? I'm paying you several thousands of pounds to do this. You can take the flipping blinds down. Pull the windows and the blinds off. I'll get some new blinds. Take the blinds down, the fools. Do they know who they're speaking with here? Yeah, that's the biggest bugbear of mine, is because I'm going to be without blinds for a little while, and I hate having nothing on. My blinds are always closed, apart from the side blinds. I never open the middle blinds. Right, what we're doing, sorry. I'm blabbering away here. Let's do a short run. Let's do a 15 lap run on the softs. Okay. Okay, there we go. And out and out. So yeah. Because I won't be using these again. I'm just going to tell them, look, mate, just take, when you pull the windows out, pull the blinds off. I don't care if you damage them, break them, whatever. I'll just order some new ones, okay? Which is a really bad thing to say, isn't it? That's almost like throwing £100 down the toilet, because if I can take them off and put them on the new window frames, then I don't have to buy another set of blinds. That is a very lazy thing to do, isn't it? Throw 100 quid away. But I've had these blinds for like 3 years, and they're a bit knackered now anyway, so I might actually get some, I might be better off getting some new blinds. I might even go posh and get some shutters. Do you know those wooden shutters rather than blinds? They look really nice. My friend's got some. Very nice indeed. You know those kind of wooden shutter things? Better value. Because it seems kind of bizarre to get a brand new set of windows and then put some cheap tatty blinds on them. You know? So some really nice wooden shutters, which again, pricey, but you know, quality-wise and look-wise, they look stunning, and obviously they're wood, so they're better quality. Because these blinds are clearly, they've passed their best. I mean, if I was to show you the blinds are fine, but the string that you use to wind them up and down, they've broken. I've got the blue tacked and masking taped back into place so that I can pull them on all of them, all 3 of them. They've all got black masking tape on them because they're flimsy. Yeah, they are expensive. My friend got some in her house, and yeah, they were pretty expensive. But you know, if you're going to go the whole hog, then I suppose the whole hog it must be. I could go back to curtains again. Nice and easy curtains, just and open and close. And then rather than having the ones that go all the way to the floor, just have them that just go to the windowsill. Style curtains. I could do that. The possibilities are endless. Right, anyway, so let's go into the final practice.
Here we are, back for another...
Let's go into the final practice session. Cloudy, no rain, hopefully. Let's have a look at the right final setup. Right, last set of softs, and this is where we get. This is where we've got to be careful now, because if we're going to 2-stop, then we might use 2 sets of mediums, for example. So we don't want to run these mediums very long. We don't, you know, we have to give a compound back that we use to Pirelli. So if we use these mediums, for example, we have to give them back, and we'll only have 1 set of mediums for the race. So I'm kind of tempted to actually use 2 sets of softs for this qualifying. For this practice session, and save a set of mediums in case we want to 2-stop, because then we could go medium, hard, medium or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Let's not worry about that for now, shall we? Right, car setup. If we're going to tweak the car setup, we have to tweak it now, because if we don't tweak it now, we won't get the feedback. Now, I do think we can get the straights to be better, so I'm going to go with a click of the front wing, a rear wing, to get more speed. And then I want to kind of get these things back to where they were, ideally. Unless, of course, we just do that and see where that takes us. What do we reckon? I reckon we keep... This is where things get really messy. I mean, this is where things get really messy. I think something like that might be the order of business. So these have just moved a smidgen. That's moved a bit more significant. We'll give that a try. If it doesn't work, we just revert back to this one. It's fine. Run plan 15 laps. Should be long enough to get the feedback. Okay, now Lando's is a bit more problematic. Yeah, his... Ooh. So many goods. Right, let's go with the rear wing first. Let's do that. So your braking stability needs to move. That's great, that's great, that's good. Traction needs to move. So, which way though does traction need to move? Not sure. Not sure. So what we'll do is we'll just move the one thing first. So we'll move the rear wing first. 15 laps, that's fine. Okay. Right, is that it? I think so.
Radio check. Yeah, radio check, all good. And track should be green. Just be mindful of curbs.
Be mindful of curbs? You want to be mindful of crashing cars, mate. That's what you be mindful of. Cars are spinning out like bloody spinning tops here. Right, here we go. 15 laps. Let's get that feedback. Hello, nameless Crusader. Yes, Mortuary Assistant should be happening on Wednesday. Unless, of course, there's a Y in the name of the day. Then, of course, it's not going to be time for it, is it? You know. I am going to finish that game. If it takes me 6 months to finish it, doing it in fragmented bits, I will still do it. Alright? Alright? Trust me. I just have to psych myself up for it, okay? I'll be psyched up on Wednesday. I'll prepare mentally. I'll prepare, don't worry. I'll do some meditation, you know, and I'll maybe even have a sip of... I was thinking of, rather than having alcohol, I was thinking of getting some kind of like a soothing tea. I don't know, like a chamomile, or I don't like chamomile tea to be fair, or some kind of like, maybe turmeric and ginger tea, you know, something nice and calming, soothing, you know, put the candles on, align the chakras, nothing shall faze me, nothing shall disturb me, I shall be at one with the horror. What do you reckon? Reckon that's going to happen? Would you ever do an actual F1 season like F1 23? I would actually. I would.
How's the balance?
He's liked it. It's an improvement.
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
It's a cool car to drive.
Message understood.
Call him in. Call him in. Daniel. Come in, son. Come in. Let's have a look. 83. It's a slight improvement. Right, we know that the braking stability has to come down even further. That straight is optimal. So wings are done. Don't touch the wings. So, braking stability is what? Anti-roll? No. Is camber? No. Now let's revert to highest confidence setup. There we go. There we go. Right. So, was it the toe? Which one that affects the braking stability like really heavily? So it's like that, isn't it? So if you put that there and then cornering, anti-roll. Toe. Now which one was it? That's too dramatic. Oh heaven, I just want the braking stability to come down a little bit more without too much tweaking with the other stuff. See, that's pretty decent, but then obviously we know that the cornering won't be optimal, so cornering. See, that's not too bad actually. So cornering might not be optimal anymore, but at least the braking stability will be better. So I'm thinking that's probably the best. But we have to go out again to register this, otherwise we won't get the bonus. So, and let's have a look at the tyres. Let's run the mediums. We can always go hard, medium, soft if needs to be in the race, I think. Medium tyres, setup done, run plan, 15 laps. Ricardo. Why is he not coming in? Because I didn't call him in. If you want him to come in, you've got to call him in. There we go. 92%. And that's even with good traction, which we could improve massively. But we don't know which way it's going to go, so it'd be a lottery. So we're going to stick with 92%. We're just going to do a very, very, very short free lap run to get rid of those tyres, basically. And that's it. Send out. So Norris is doing a full run for his final setup, and Daniel's just doing a short run to burn through a set of mediums. Virtual safety car. Something has happened. Who has brought out a virtual safety car? It's Ocon. Let's have a look. This could be a dramatic crash here.
So there we have the Alpine.
Ocon bringing out the... This is like a straight... Oh, he's locked up.
They've lost control. And there's the
Ooh,
crash.
that is a big accident. That is a big accident here. Ocon destroying bits of his car. Could compromise him in this qualifying and the race there. Virtual safety car out as a result of that. High drama here in Miami. This is a good thing. I mean, hey, first of all, if he's all right, we won't wish ill on anybody, but this is a direct rival of ours, the Alpines. So seeing them having a bit of an incident, not a bad thing, really. Right, Daniel is done. He's finished his practice with 24 minutes of P3 to go. He doesn't have to go out and again anymore. So happy with his setup, happy with everything else that he's done. Lando, tracker climate feedback. Yeah, he'll get his feedback in time. Any high-speed street circuit is going to be prone to those kind of accidents. Saudi Arabia is the highest speed street circuit. Baku is quite a fast one as well. So, I've got to admit, I'm not a big fan of street circuits. I think there's too many of them now on the calendar. I think, F1 is a global sport and they want to get to these different places. Las Vegas, Miami, all these different things. But the tracks, they're just, it's just another street circuit. Let's go to London. London street circuit. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Let's go to Miami. Yeah, Miami. Las Vegas street circuit. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. We're just littered with street circuits.
And Lando, how's the balance? I'm happy. Understood.
Let's call him in. There's 20. Yeah, what's the thing? Yeah, but they're not. I don't think they're particularly great. Not at all. I think I say hate them with a passion is a very strong word, but yeah, I'm not the biggest of fans. They tend to be quite processional. The safety cars and stuff that come out just ruin and interfere with the race to the point where it's almost like pot luck whether the safety car comes out when it's going to be favourable for you or not, and sometimes you can't plan for it. And Lando setup, we've taken the traction into the realms of bad. How did that happen? What? Traction wasn't bad before, was it? Or was it bad before? It can't have been. If it's bad, traction has to go down here, surely. But we don't have enough time to be able to alter this, so 84% is as good as it's going to get. So that's as much as we can do with Lando. I've not changed anything, have I? Have I changed anything? I've not changed anything. Right, excellent.
The session has now finished.
Oh, hello, Crazy Canuck. Yes, we have Qatar. It was Bahrain. Is that in Qatar? Is Bahrain in Qatar? Qatar? I don't know. Not very good by countries here. Saudi, Miami. We've been to Imola and Australia. Oops, daisy. Right, excellent. Practice done. Pretty decent practice. Apart from Lando won't get the maximum bonus. He'll probably get 14 out of 15 because his setup wasn't above 93. Daniel will get all 50. No, Daniel won't even get it as well. Yeah. Oh, it has to be 93 and above to get the full 15. He's only got 90. Only got 92. Whatever shall we do? And Lando only getting the 13 rather than 14 because his was 84. But hey, what can you do? Not quite dialing in. Who cares about setup? It's all about the rain. We're going to make massive gains in performance through Potter's rain strategy. Right, excellent. Speaking of strategy, it means nothing to you non-F1 fans or non-Mercedes fans really, but chief strategist James Vowles of Mercedes has gone to become team principal of Williams recently. I noticed. So that's a good. I mean, great for him in terms of progression, but it's a bit of a bummer. He's been chief strategist for Mercedes since 2014. So that could be quite a loss, because Mercedes usually are not too bad on strategies. You know, you only got to look at Ferrari to realise that having a good chief strategist is actually very important. You know, but anyway. I'm sure they've succession planned adequately for these things. You know, it's a multi-million-dollar company. Right, qualifying is upon us. Soft tyres, one flying lap as per usual. Hopefully one run will be enough so that we don't burn through the soft tyres and we can preserve things. Talking about preserving things, it's time to get our real engines on. So, yeah, get the engine 2 on there. And gearbox... I'm going to go with a fresh gearbox on this one. Although technically speaking, we could look at the circuit. The circuit has got high speed is down as crucial. Cornering, sorry. Acceleration is down as recommended. So a brand new gearbox to maximise their acceleration could be pretty cool. So brand new gearbox, second engine, same ERS. I think is a decent touch setup there. And we'll do the same for Mr. Norris. So race engine number 1. We'll go with a fresh gearbox for the acceleration for the circuit. And same ERS, that's fine. Excellent. Right. So that's it. Let's start Q1. We should be able to get through this without too much of a concern.
Radio check.
Good move. Below the high standards.
Good.
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those things that when you're out in the front, it's always a difficult position to be in strategy-wise, because you kind of like who just went out then? Did somebody go out? Right, we need to go. Let's have a look at the. I reckon going out round about here would be pretty decent. Do you know what? Let's send Norris out first for a change. Let's just send Norris out now. See if we can get a banker. Oh, right behind it. Oh, we'll overtake the Ferrari. It's fine. We'll overtake the Ferrari. So yeah, it's a bit of a poison chalice being out in the front sometimes. Red Bulls have always had a pretty decent strategy, haven't they? But they can afford to roll the dice when they've been the slower car. But yeah. I've just got images of Lewis Hamilton being sat on the track in Hungary in 2021 on his own, because he didn't put in everybody else, but because the track had dried during the formation lap and he was left on the grid on his own because they didn't pull the trigger. Right, let's go on balance. Let's burn through the fuel. So we'll speed this up a little touch. Norris should pass Hamilton as well, and this will allow us, if we ride on board with Norris, this will allow us to have a look at the where the DRS zones are on the track. Why aren't we passing Hamilton? Is that the start-finish line that we're on that I haven't prepared for? Clearly. Where's the... look, this is a new track to me, okay? I'm not... you can't see my mini-map because I'm covering it with my face. But, yeah, I think we've cocked that up. I think that was the start-finish line that we haven't prepared for. Anyway, let's go. Riding on board with Lando. It's a brand new circuit.
Confirm.
And we haven't got him off to the greatest of starts, but hey, as long as we get above 15, it doesn't matter. So driving with new gearbox, driving with new front wing, the version 2, which perhaps we should, even though we can't name it in the game, perhaps we should name it for ourselves, you know. But anyway, we're not as fast as the Mercedes, clearly, but we're close enough maybe to get a little bit of slipstream, so this could be quite a good thing. So I'm sure there's a DRS zone here. Yes, there we go, the DRS is open, so this is the first DRS zone. It's kind of on this back curvy straight thing. As we brake heavily then into a left-hander. The stadium complex here. There we go, and then coming onto the back straight now, after this 90-degree left, and straight down. So again, DRS will open here, near enough. That must have been the detection point. Where is the... There we go, now it's open. Are we close enough to get a slipstream here? I think we're still close enough to get a slipstream. I think you can get a slipstream from the car in front from quite a distance away, as it, it passes through the air and makes the air nice and slipstreamed for you. I think we're close enough to benefit. So how long is this lap going to be? How long are we talking for a lap time? About a minute and 30. 4/10 slower than Hamilton. 4/10 slower.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Is that good?
Yeah, confirm.
9/10 slower than Sainz. I don't think that's good. I think 5/10 slower than Hamilton isn't good. I don't think that's grand. But it's when the Haas's and the AlphaTauris and the Alpines set their times, we get a better thing. We're going to send Daniel out now.
And we can have recharge on, please.
I'm going to send Daniel out now.
Yeah, confirm.
Hopefully we'll find him a gap. We're putting him into a gap, but whether or not other cars will have come out or will be on hot laps at the same time, the mind boggles, and I don't have time to be so perfectionist, because we've always got the banker of sending him out at the very end, last anyway, so... Right, Joe has got okay, that's not bad. We're 3/10 faster than Ocon. He could have suffered with traffic, but that's a pretty good sign. That isn't a bad sign at all, in fact. I like the look of that. That could be a very good sign indeed. Right, let's go take a look at Daniel as he does his warm-up lap. He's catching up to a Ferrari, but yeah, he's got plenty of clear air here, so this was potentially a good... kind of a nice little gap. So we're much closer to the Alfa Romeos here. So this new wing could really have worked wonders, and our floor is going to be ready in about another 10 days or so, and that's going to be another major upgrade. So
just remind you to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
That will be pretty good to see how that pans out for us in terms of a jump in performance. 7th and 8th in qualifying. That would be a very successful qualifying for us. That would be very successful. The highest we've qualified so far, I think, is 10th, right, with Lando, eking into Q3. Right, we are now going to push, deploy.
Okay.
There we go. So let's see how Daniel fares.
Roger.
So hot lap with Daniel, lots of empty road ahead of him. This has worked out really well. So the first complex. I really do wish this one of the... I've got a few gripes with the game, don't get me wrong, it's still a very fun game, but like all games there's a few gripes, isn't there? And one of the biggest gripes is we don't have live timing. So like when we're doing a hot lap, it'd be quite cool if somewhere on the screen, like maybe down here or something, we get like in real life the clock timing. I know we can see the timing here, for example, which is fine, but it doesn't give you any sort of split times and stuff. Like there's no split time other than it's green, you know. Whoopie-doo. You know, how close are we to pole, for example? You know, like in real life we get the splits. It'd be quite nice to see that. But anyway. And because of course he's going to go green because it's his first lap. So again, it's meaningless. But knowing the precise split times would be quite good. I mean, we can see the splits here. But again, there's no context to them. Is that better than Nando's split? Is that better than other people's split? What the hell? But anyway, we're coming down, braking heavily, and coming round the last few corners here as we cross the line. There. With a 1 something or other. A 131.5, there we go. A 131.5. So we're ahead of the Alpine of Alonso. I'm expecting Bottas to go quicker than us, because he'll be quicker than his teammate more often than not. So, but we're ahead of the Alpines, we're ahead of the Haases. I think we have made a good step forward with our wing. Not only that, but of course this track suits our car's attribute in terms of the high speed side of things. So ultimately,
okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Ultimately,
Yep, understood.
I'm quite happy with the step we've made here. So I don't think we need to go out again. We're not at risk of going. We're just going to burn through tyres and stuff and engines and stuff. So we're not going to go out a second time. We're going to risk it. We're going to risk it and hope that nobody gains 5/10. Nobody's going to gain 5/10 of a second on us. So we're gonna sit here and just chill. Let everybody else go and worry about setting a second lap. I mean, why would we be so bothered about that? We're clearly in conserve mode right now.
So Daniel, the session has now finished.
Ooh, there you go. Whew. So Lando in 9th there, and Daniel in 11th, and of course we could probably get a slightly better time if we'd have gone out a second time where the track was a bit more rubbered in. So it's looking pretty good, is that? Looking pretty good. Right, qualifying 2. Everything should be exactly the same, so we'll go out and we'll hit the track.
Radio okay now?
Right, we'll go out early with Lando again.
Okay, radio check.
Sessions should be starting now.
Okay, should be less cars on the track now. Of course, we've lost 5, so a little bit less. And let's have a look. It's got to get very busy very quickly, I think. So we'll try sending out Ricciardo too. There we go. Take full control. Make sure that I don't screw up this time, ideally. So we shall ride on. We'll take a look at the director cam for these hot laps, rather than on board. We've seen on board now. Let's have a little bit of something different. So Norris coming round the little stadium complex onto the back straight in a second. There we go. Full speed ahead. So it looks like there's going to be some pretty decent passing spots here.
Maximum pace.
So giving Lando the full juice here, and we've got cars coming out, which is absolutely flipping horrendous for us, really, unless we pass them, and we've got a car right ahead of us. Oh boy, happy days, and oh, look at that. Oh, right in the way. Thank you very much, you piece of... Who is it? Who was that? Piece of... Perez. Idiot. Right, Daniel needs to be pushed here. So Norris's time seriously compromised. Daniel's, however, might not be. Okay, so Norris is now coming up to another car. Man, thankfully has got out of the way, so that's not too bad. That didn't look to slow us down too much. DRS open now as we are flying down here, coming up to the back of a Ferrari who gets out of the way. Oh, he's weaving, he doesn't know where he's going. Oh, and he's planted his car right on the apex, right in front of us. Norris's time is screwed. I'm quite tempted to abort it and look at this. Look at this. Seriously bad. This is one of the weaknesses of this game, is actually this kind of situation happens far too often. Obviously cars in real life are much better at getting out of your way, rather than planting themselves on the racing line, through corners for example, which would yield a penalty. Would that happen in real life? But anyway, both of our cars severely compromised, so we're going to have to rely on our second laps being perfect. No pressure. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Right in the way. I couldn't have timed my laps more horrendously with both of those drivers. But at least we were a little bit quicker than Norris. By a second. Such was how heavily Norris got hampered, and I forgot to conserve and harvest with him, so he's not going to get a second run with a full ERS charge. Unless he can make it up now. Yeah. So that's my second gripe with this game, is the car's inability to get the flipping hell out your way. And it's the same when you're coming up to lap cars as well. You can suffer the same issue. But anyway, right, we're heading to the garage. We are conserving with both. So let us skip the time forward.
Hamilton is off track.
Hamilton's off track. Oh dear.
Yep, understood.
Change the tyres. Sector 1, we've had an incident. We've had an incident here. Oh, Hamilton is in the barriers. Oh, God. That could be game over.
Yellow's ahead.
Here's the replay.
Let's have a look
Now
at this.
watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this.
This
one.
is a very similar incident, it looks like, to...
Oh, a nasty
oh,
crash there.
he's wedged it right in the barriers. Wing flying, and that is going to be a major blow to his qualifying too. Can he get that car back in time to be able to change what he needs to change? And still do a lap in 9 minutes? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we? But if he can't, that could be one car less to worry about. Improving our chances of getting both drivers into Q2, perhaps. Into Q3, rather. Let's see. 16 seconds, 16 times speed. So we've changed the tyres. It's 1 minute 30 for a lap. Both cars are at risk, so we can't be too close to the wire here. Quite tempted to be the first one out rather than the last one out for a change. Do we bite the bullet first? Do you know what? We can't afford to risk it. This time we're going to bite the bullet and go out first. We shall lead the train of cars this time. Mind you, this even might be even too early, because if they don't come out for another 2 minutes, they're going to come out right when we're doing our hot lap. Oh, this could be a bad idea. Oh, this could be terrible. This could be a terrible idea. In fact, I think this is a terrible idea. Oh, I could have made a royal blunder here. Okay, they're coming out now. He's coming out with no wing on. Is that Hamilton? He's coming out with no wing on. What's the point? He's coming out with no wing. I know what I'll do. I'll try and set a hot lap with no wing. Screw it. I'll do my best. What the hell? It's ridiculous. Okay, we'll go out last with Ricciardo. We'll do the usual strategy with him, which is to go out when everybody else is gone. He's going back to the pit box. Was he going back to the... No, he's not. He's on the track. He's on the track. Does he have a wing, though? Oh, I think he has a wing. Does he have a wing now? No, look, he's got no flipping wing. Yeah, nope, definitely out with a wing, without a wing on. Right, where's Ricardo? Ricardo is just chilling out. Chilling out. In fact, we'll send him out now. Right, Norris. I've never seen that in this game before. Maybe they don't have any spare wings. Well, they better do, otherwise it's good night Vienna for the race, isn't it? Right, we're going to get Norris prepared early here. So, giving him deploy, all the pushing, fresh tyres. He's got one shot, and one shot only, to get himself up into Q3.
If you can, push.
I mean, look at Ricardo up in P6. Okay, let's go. Let's balance that. So riding on board, well, we're riding with Lando Norris. Let's have a look at the split times. I mean, he's bound to go faster because he was held up horrendously. So, I mean, if his splits aren't green, it'll be some kind of major tragedy that's gone on. Okay, so full speed ahead. He's actually catching up to his teammate. His first sector time is slower. He's slower on his first sector time. Okay, interesting. Can you imagine if his own teammate slows him down? Oh boy. Oh boy. Daniel, get the hell out of the way, my friend. Do not slow down your own teammate. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's faster at the second sector. DRS is open. Daniel is now going to be pushing anyway, so shouldn't be an issue.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Okay.
Let's see what pace you can do. So here we go. This is the second run of Q2. Looking to get into Q3 here with both cars for the first time this season. New wings, new gearbox. Lando's time. There we go. He's improved. Look at that. Look at that. That's a pretty decent time. 2 tenths ahead of the Alpha of Joe here. And let's have a look at Ricardo. How's he getting on? The last man on a lap here. So let's have a look at some of the sector times. Verstappen going faster in the first sector. Sainz is going faster. Leclerc is going purple. They're all getting... Oh, he's probably getting a tow. He's probably getting a tow from the car in front. That's why. Not Verstappen or Perez towing him along. It's Perez.
Well done, mate. Great day.
It's a bit premature. That is not finished yet. People still crossing the line. We expect Leclerc to go faster, so that'll push him down. Hamilton clearly won't go faster because he's not got a front wing. So Leclerc goes fastest. Perez is up there. So Daniel is at risk. Is now at risk. Ocon's probably his biggest threat. Ocon, let's have a look at Ocon as he's crossing the line. Has Ocon going to improve enough to go ahead of Daniel Ricciardo? No, he only goes up to 13th position. So Daniel is guaranteed to get through regardless of his time now. But here he goes across the line. He's on a faster lap. Crosses the line. And he goes up to 9th.
Understood.
Faster than Gasly.
Just remind you to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
That's both cars through to Q3 for the first time this season. 7th and 9th. So that's pretty damn good if you ask me. So yes, the McLaren's definitely taking a step forward today. Taking a step forward indeed here in Miami. But qualifying 3 is now upon us. Let us get ourselves ready. So we get a brand new set of tyres specifically for Q3. So 2 brand new sets here to use, so that's all very good. Start qualifying. So now it's all about how far up the grid can we get up to.
Yeah, I'm ready to check all good.
Right.
Track should be green now.
Okay, let's get this right. There's only 10 cars now. Let's get this right. I'm going to wait for all 10 cars to get the flipping hell out of my way first. That's what I'm going to do. Let them all go. And we'll join the back of the first train and join the back of the second train. So let them all tootle out nice and steadily. So the thing is, they don't all go out at the same time. That's the only slight issue. They all come out in dribs and drabs the first time round. It's the second time they all go around like a bat out of hell. But anyway, this is a good time for us to get both cars out. So Ricciardo going out first this time. Lando going out straight after. So this looks to be a pretty decent gap, I'd say. Alright, so let us get ourselves on with our outlap. We should be good. I say we should be good. We're catching 2 cars here, but this shouldn't be a major issue. Right, I don't know. Let's have a look here. Okay.
Use the pace now.
So Ricciardo,
Understood.
full speed ahead. Norris is going to be right behind him for our first run in Q3. Here we go. So Joe's set the first time. 131.0, Gasly 3/10 slower. Leclerc goes fastest, as you would expect. We've got 2 cars in front of us, but they should be on hot laps because we all came out at the same time, so we shouldn't really catch those guys, by my reckoning. Or maybe I reckoned wrong, because he's going very slowly. Oh no, he's on an in-lap. That must be Joe. Oh no, here we go. Here we go, screwed again. Oh no, we're not screwed. Caught him on the straight, that's good. This, however... No, this is also good. Good, good, out of the way, that's right. That's right, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Don't you... Oh. Now this could be bad for Lando. We're going to catch them in the stadium section. This is going to be very bad, I think. Oh, it could be Lando compromised again. Oh, can he get a break? No, he's going to be compromised. We haven't been compromised. I'd say we're compromised now. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. God. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, idiot. Meanwhile, Ricciardo having a lovely Sunday drive, unimpeded, and he's about to cross the line. Let's see. Let's hope. I'm thinking maybe 6th would be a great place for him to slot into. 9th. Oh, 5/10 slower than the Alpha. That's not good. Lando look like 3 seconds, severely compromised. That is not our true pace, surely. What's happened there? Ricciardo didn't get blocked. That's not a great time.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
That is not a good time.
Understood.
A 131.5. Yeah. Anyway, we better sort this out. Better sort this out. Potter, point some fingers and give some lectures. Because that is not good enough. I mean, both cars into Q3 for the first time, a great achievement, and then look what happens. A damp bloody squib of an occasion. Right, we've got a little bit of time to play with here. Right, we'll send out Norris first, after we've changed his tyres. Oops. Oh dear. It's fine. It's just for the drama. It's just for the drama. Are they going to cross the line in time? Oh, well, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Whoa. Going to be tight. Okay, let's see what we can do in Q3 here. So Verstappen currently on pole. Now we've had an absolute Ferrari domination so far this season. So Verstappen will be eager to right that wrong. But he's not had the greatest of seasons. He's made 2 mistakes there. He's crashed out of races and qualifying sessions. He's going to have to pick his game up as well as the team. But here we go. So Verstappen's there. So Leclerc in second, Sainz in first, Perez, of course, is in fourth. And we've got the lone Mercedes of Russell, who's promoting the use of front wings as a something for the future. It's the future, you know. Joe there. Bottas clearly is not here. I missed the fact that Bottas got knocked out in Q2. Alonso, the lead Alpine there. Gasly too. So yes, interesting indeed. 5th and 6th. Nah, we're not getting 5th and 6th. I reckon if we can get 8th and 10th. 8th and 9th would be nice. If we can just beat one car with both our drivers, that would be good. So let's have a look. Norris is coming across first. So go.
Maximum pace.
Go. Maximum pace. Here comes Ricciardo. Maximum pace. Right, here we go. Riding on board with Norris here. For a full lap once again of the Miami circuit. But let's have a look. It's difficult to not be wanting to look at what other people are doing here. And we've got a Ferrari crossing the line very shortly. It's the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Will he do enough to dislodge Verstappen on the top of the grid here? No, he doesn't improve. Where's Carlos Sainz? Well, Carlos Sainz, he's going to find 5/10.
So Daniel, the session has now finished.
No, I wonder if Leclerc is on a hot lap now. No, I don't think so. I think he might have missed the boat. Perez is not moved much. Russell is the only other car. These guys have all finished their laps though, and so we know what we need to do. Ricciardo has to find 2/10. Norris has to find 1.5 seconds. No traffic in the way this time though, so that shouldn't be a problem. So obviously going green. Daniel's going green too though, which is a good thing. Daniel is going green. Okay, come on. So Lando Norris will be crossing the line first. Here we go, last couple of corners. The sharp left-hander that leads us into the stadium section. Left, then right, then across the line. Where's he going to come out? In the shake-up of things? In P7! And Daniel Ricciardo? Oh, P10. He couldn't quite do it there, but very close to Gasly. That's looking at 1/100th of a second there is the difference between the two. But yeah, Lando Norris qualifying in his highest position this season, P7. A pretty good outcome. 7th and 10th. Not bad at all. And don't forget, we've got a race filled with rain potentially. So, but Max Verstappen, first pole of the season, I seem to think. With Charles Leclerc second, Sainz third, Perez fourth, Russell in fifth. Great performance from Guan Yu Zhou there in the Alfa Romeo in 6th position. Lando Norris, very good for him too. P7, Ricciardo in P10 there. Sandwiching Fernando Alonso and Gasly in the McLaren sandwich there. So yeah, all looking pretty good as far as I can see.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Qualifying went well for McLaren, and they're set to start this race feeling quite comfortable. We saw a good effort from Alfa Romeo during qualifying. They'll be looking to improve further on their decent grid position. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
57 laps await our competitors here in Miami, so may the best driver win.
57 laps. Will we get done by 11 o'clock? Not on one speed, we won't. Right. Yeah, we'll see what the race weekend brings, weather-wise. Right, strategy. Before we go to strategy, we need to see the rain, and the rain is coming after the first round about lap sort of 15, 16, round about 18, 19, 20. So we need a hardy tyre to get us into the rain. So medium onto hard, I think for both. We'll be flexible with the strategy mid-race as per usual, but we might be going straight onto a set of either inters or wets. I'm probably thinking inters round about here-ish, so the soft tyre can get us there quite happily. And if the weather forecast is correct, we can probably afford to push on the mediums, simply because we're going to be coming in round about here-ish, which gives us a bit of, as you can see, there's a bit of tyre life to play with. So we can probably be aggressive on the mediums if we wanted to be. But of course, this weather forecast isn't 100% accurate. It's 70% accurate. I mean, it's likely going to start raining. So both drivers, we will do this strategy and adapt it in the race itself, because we've got variable weather. And speaking of variable weather, folks, that's another bugbear of mine with this game, is that the AI strategies when it comes to variable weather are a bit hit and miss at best. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want them to be strategically perfect, because that would be ridiculous. But, you know, I've seen some very strange things that AI has done in wet weather or variable weather, which clearly is a very stupid thing to do. Such as qualifying, for example. You know, qualifying, your weather forecast tells you it's going to be raining after 5 minutes. Everybody would go out and do a hot lap in the first 5 minutes when it's dry. They wouldn't wait until the end of the or to midway through the session, it starts raining, to do their first lap, would they? No. So it's just little things like that. There's a few little things that bug me, because again that makes it then far too easy, because you go out, all you need to do is go out yourself early, and then nobody else can beat your time because they've all gone out when it's wet, and that's a bit silly. But we shall see what the rain brings and what strategies come forth as a result of that. But we have got everything that we need. I don't think I'm missing anything. So without further ado, it's time to head into the race itself. And let's keep our fingers crossed for a nice, big, healthy haul of points. And who knows, if the AI completely cock up the wet weather situation, could there be a podium on the cards? Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
It's bright and sunny as the drivers line up on the grid.
Oh, I'll be taking advantage, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Pack, so there's plenty of potential.
Potter has got his eyes on that weather
and
forecast.
behind them, it's Ricciardo. With a top 10 position
Watching
on the
it like a hawk.
This race could really go either way for them. The teams are ready to go.
Okay, here we go. All the greatest minds are all on the pit. You know.
One of the newest races in F1.
Okay, we're off.
And
We're off. The lights are on. The lights are on.
It's the Miami Grand Prix.
And we're off. I quite like how they do vary the length of time that you hold on the lights. Like in the last race, the hold was minuscule. Right, anyway, so 7th position with Lando Norris. He's still in 7th position. And Ricciardo is battling at the moment with Gasly. Didn't quite make a move stick, but did have a little bit of a look, it looked like there. So there we go. Still 7th and 10th. It's as you were from the grid positions for the McLarens. Verstappen still managing to stay ahead of Leclerc and Sainz of Perez and Russell. We are exactly as we were. The top 10 haven't moved a muscle in the opening exchanges, which is very surprising. Riding on board with Ricciardo at the moment, who's all over the back of Pierre Gasly here. No DRS, of course, for the moment, but he's been given all of the juice that he needs right now to try his best to pass. And here is Norris on Joe. But it's looking rather tricky at the moment to make any inroads, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We're just waiting for that rain to spice things up a little bit. And what the hell is Lando Norris doing? Crazy man. Oh, it does recognise weather. It does, yeah. But they just make some very strange decisions. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if we notice any really bizarre decisions. I'm sure we will. Don't get me wrong, people make strange, bizarre decisions in real life too, you know. So, these kind of things do occasionally happen.
Good move, good move.
Oh, we've got a position. We've got a position. We've made it coming for a second position here. We'll get the replay, hopefully, and it's probably time to start thinking of turning the tyres maybe down to aggressive to start with, because we do have the capacity to push our tyres because of the rain, of course. Up the inside! He's getting two positions!
Let's take a look at the replay.
Ricciardo is on the move, so this is his pass on Pierre Gasly, outbraking, and then look at that, down the inside, no mercy taken. If you're going to leave the door open, Sonny Jim, I'm going to kick it right open, I'm going to stick my way through it. And then he's jinking out to the inside of Ocon. The pit crew are in a frenzy here, and look at that, it's Alonso, yes, he's gone past Alonso as well. Look at that, he's not messing about today, is he, old Daniel?
McLaren with a great overtake.
Two passes in a handful of corners, if that, there we go, up the inside of the two-time world champion. Nicely done, sir, nicely done indeed.
Which moves them up a position.
Very good, and more reasons to celebrate in Daniel's side of the garage. So that's P7 and P8 at this moment in time. Very good indeed. Right, we've got to be careful here. Don't want to be pushing the tyres too much, but yeah, we'll probably can afford to go standard at this point now. There was kind of in a bit
Just
of a
be careful with this tyre.
in a bit of a train neutral deployment. There we go. And start looking at and planning at where we're going to pass the next car, as Ricciardo has closed right onto the back of his teammate. Alonso isn't going anywhere either. So this DRS train will start to form when we're allowed to open it. But yeah, Sainz already dropping behind Leclerc, his teammate. So we got the first two. And then Sainz dropping. Perez just about clinging on to Sainz. And then, of course, the Mercedes of Russell dropping off the back of the Red Bull of Perez. So already the top two streaking away from the rest here. But Verstappen has got a lot of work to do this season, as has Leclerc, because Sainz has been the dominant force thus far. Right, here we go. Riding on board with Norris once again, as the DRS is now open. Let's see if we do anything over the next couple of laps. But I got a sneaking suspicion we're just going to have to follow Linus Stern for a little while, but I could be wrong. Fifth place. Would that be greedy? It's far too early to be thinking of such things. Just let them do their jobs and see where they end up. Right, where's Alonso? Okay, so Daniel has to just make sure that he keeps on the back of Norris here, so we've just got to be careful to keep him within that 1 second, otherwise he'll be at risk of being passed by Alonso. Taking a slightly different line is Ricciardo there. Now he's almost a second behind Norris, so we just reticent to give him too much of a push order, but we might have to do.
Okay, push.
Push.
Okay.
Keep within the second. Should be opening DRS round about here. There we go. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
So looking on board Lando Norris, who's got the two cars ahead of him squabbling over fifth position, Russell and Joe. I mean, Joe's having an absolutely fantastic race so far here. in Miami, clearly in tune with the circuit. And he was looking for a move up the inside of Russell, and he gets there. He gets there. Russell on the hard tyre. So, I mean, that in itself, to me, is a stupid strategy. Because, I mean, again, if you're going to... or is it, actually? Because we did suggest that the hard tyre was only a minuscule amount slower than the medium, but was more durable. So even just after a handful of laps, they would be doing the same times on the hards as the mediums, but obviously the hard is more durable. So maybe it's not so stupid to go on the hard tyre from the start. But ordinarily, if there was a big time differential between the hards and the mediums, going on the hards when the rain is coming in lap 18 would make no sense. If you're expecting the rain early. But given the time differential between the hard and the medium, I don't think it's that horrendous of a decision. But I mean, there is some differential because Sainz is struggling to keep up with two ahead that are on mediums, and Russell is struggling to keep Alfa Romeo behind him because he's on hards and he's on mediums, so maybe there is slightly more of a time differential perhaps than it might first appear. But anyway, still in P7 and 8 as things stand. And whether we're keeping up because we've got a faster race car or whether it's just that we've got the DRS, but we're keeping up quite handily. We're not pushing or anything here, so there's some decent pace being shown by the McLarens here today. Alonso's got a gap back to Gasly, so we're struggling to shake off Alonso as we would expect. They've been a pretty quick car, the Alpines. Just had the pace on us, I think, over the first 4 races, to be honest with you. But look at this now. We've got a bit of a traffic jam forming. Let's have a look at the director camera as we follow this little jam. Squabbling for position. Daniel just trying to defend against the threat of Alonso, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars line astern here, as it might be the Alfa Romeo's holding us up in the grand scheme of things here, which makes me wonder, should we start to consider orchestrating? Hang on, we've got an issue in sector 1. A car has run wide. Nobody's dropping through the field like a stone. Oh, it was Alonso, apparently.
Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car.
He
They go wide, right
didn't go
off
that
the racing
wide.
line.
It went off just slightly wide. It's not worth causing a fuss about, is it? Clearly pushing hard, though. Clearly pushing hard. Trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo there. Going off the track. But yeah, look at that. These guys are going to start to catch the back of this train. So I think we could do with getting ahead of this train. So I'm going to actually start to see if we can maybe orchestrate something with Lando Norris. So going for deployments and full pushing down this long straight, which will then carry on into the section here. So let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. We may have been a little bit too slow on the deployment. Plus overtake is always better than deploy, to be fair. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. Here we go. I don't think we're going to have enough juice. There's only a very short straight here. But let's see. Around the outside! Oh, he's pulled out of it! He's pulled out of it! Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you fool. He pulled out of the manoeuvre. Daniel is struggling to stay within the second, so we're going to have to give him a bit of aggressive pushing now, because he's going to have Alonso all over the back of him, and Ricciardo doesn't have the benefits of DRS on his teammate here, so let's give him a bit of engine pushing too, and a bit of deployment maybe, just to catch up. And let's have a look at Norris.
Use the overtake button.
Understood.
There we go again, you see. But we're too far back. Too far back. Okay.
And save fuel from now, please.
Daniel Ricciardo, 1.8 seconds behind his teammate. He's really struggling here to keep up. 1.5. He's pushing now, though, so he should be able to 1.1, that's looking a bit better. 1.2, more deployment here. Got to be very careful that we don't overuse the ERS. Almost within the second. But we're gapping Alonso here, so this is actually quite positive. Oh, Leclerc's got ahead of Verstappen. So Ferrari back on the top step as it stands. Sainz is 5 seconds behind. Perez is right on the back of Sainz now. And are we catching Perez? I don't think so. But look at this, Russell right on the back of him. Norris is still just about there, and now Daniel is back within the touching distance of Lando Norris. And oh, look at that, we're pulling out of the DRS here of Alonso. This could be useful if we could just stop him from getting DRS. We might be able to start to pull away. Yes, he's over a second away now. Just over a second. The detection line, where is it? It might have been just before then. I think he's just pulled just underneath. So yeah, lap 7 of 57. We're kind of stuck in this little train going on here. It's difficult to get past, but look at that. More people have joined the party. So Gasly's joined the back, Bottas is on it, Magnussen. I mean, the fact that Magnussen is staying keeping pace tells me that this man is slowing us all down badly, quite badly in fact, because you've got a Haas keeping pace here. You know, Hamilton finally put a wing on. Saw the light. So Perez has just passed Sainz. Perez has just passed Sainz. So it looks like the medium tyres are working better than the timings suggested, because the hard tyre compound runners are struggling a little bit, I'd say. Russell's struggling to pass Joe there. Sainz dropping further back from the two lead cars, now been passed by Perez. He's a hard tyre runner. You know, Magnussen, we're just about doing well on the hards there. Hamilton, maybe hoping the weather forecast is wrong, going on the hard tyres, hoping to go long perhaps. No chance of that happening, Sonny Jim. The rain's coming, I tell you. It's coming soon. So let's have a look. So we're expecting the rain to hit. It's not going to be overly wet. I think it's Inter's weather, to be honest with you. I think it'll be Inter's weather. I mean, that might be wet, but I don't think it's going to be wet for long enough for us to... I think we'll have to just cope on the Inters, even if it gets wet, because I think the whole stint here overall will be an Inter stint rather than going on to wets for a short bit, then coming back in and changing on to Inter. I think a full Inter stint will be probably enough, and that'll be Inters and then another set of Inters, I think. I don't think the Inters will last for 30 odd laps. But we'll see. We shall see. Right, here we go. We're still in this train. And while we're in this train and waiting for wet weather to play its hand, I think we're going to just go on to 2-speed now, because I can't see... We tried to pass with Lando, it wasn't happening, so our ERS is reduced. Oh shoot, what am I doing? Jesus, bloody... I'm not supposed to be doing that. Anyway, it is what it is. He's now got to save some fuel later in the race. Ooh, I brought him right in contention there. Right into contention of battling with his teammate. But hey, at least we've pulled 2 seconds out on Fernando Alonso, which is pretty nice. Fernando Alonso no longer getting the benefit of the DRS on us anymore, and that's proving to be very good because he's dropping further back. So, yeah. But it's quite clear that we're being held up here, which is rather annoying. I think if we were to get ahead of both of these cars, we'd enjoy some nice clear air to put our foot down with the engine and with the pushing on the tyres. But Struggling. Right, Russell has got back past now, so this might work in our favour if we can just orchestrate something. Let's have a look. Right. We clearly need more of this, don't we? So we should probably be harvesting in the twisty bits. Let's have a look at the tyre wear situation. Yeah, we're obviously below the tyre line, but we have been pushing with the anticipation of rain coming. The issue will occur if the rain doesn't come and our tyres have been shot to bits. That could be a risk. But we're banking on the weather. We're banking on the rain coming. Right. Look how close these two are. Oh, looks like we've just managed to catch Verstappen pulling a manoeuvre on Leclerc to retake the lead of this race. So the first two swapping positions, not being able to break the DRS of each other. Perez and Sainz battling hard too. On the one, so yeah, still 2.3 behind Ricciardo. So yeah, we've found a nice happy medium. And yeah, Russell ahead of the Alpha, but can't pull away himself. So it's all swings and roundabouts. Swings and roundabouts. Anyway, I saw you, Cham. You mentioned about Happy Valley earlier. It was in my mind to yeah. It's been a fantastic series so far. I mean, although it's only been 2 episodes, but yeah, the ending of the last episode was pretty tense, wasn't it? So looking forward to watching that after this stream. It's on now as we speak. No spoilers. Oh, don't worry, I won't be spoiling. Don't worry. I was just saying that, but the ending of the last episode was pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, no spoilers. Anybody that's watched it, just you know. Hello, Liv. Welcome. Right. Right. How are we getting Norris past this bumbling buffoon ahead of us? How are we going to orchestrate it? To be fair, I mean, in the tight sections we catch up, but in these sections they're actually pretty far away. You know, maybe I'm overestimating our pace. Maybe this is our pace. And just being dragged along in their DRS is as good as we're gonna get until the rain comes. Ricciardo just about clinging on to Norris still, pulling out some nice time on Alonso. Potter's rain dance not yet working wonders. When is the perfect time for us to get rain, I wonder? When is the perfect time for rain? I mean, as long as it falls before our tyres fall off a cliff, I suppose that's the perfect time. We're anticipating it being what did we say, lap sort of 16, 17, 18-ish. That's 10, that's 20, that must be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah, around about 17. So yeah, about 5 laps time. 35% chance of rain in the next 2 minutes. So this will be all about how soon we get onto the inters. When the rain comes in relation to us on the track, you know, if we come in too early, we're going to damage the tyres too quickly. If we come in too late, we're going to lose time. It's all about finding that sweet spot for coming in to put on the inters. And that is also the decision. Do we put on the inters, or will it be wet enough to put on the full wets? All fun and games when the rain will eventually come. So here we go. That rain is round the corner. The clouds are coming on in. I feel a spot. I feel a spot on my glasses. Look, there's a spot of rain. Right, Norris is not in the DRS of the 2 cars ahead of him now, which is rather interesting. So perhaps they may have been conserving their tyres to start with. If we look at their yeah, look at that, 66%. So clearly they were in conservation tyre mode for the first part of the race, hence why we were keeping track. And now that they've probably gone into a higher aggressive push order, that they're now creating a bit of a gap, whereas we've been unbalanced for the entire time. So lots of people around us have been conserving, which makes no sense. Why would you conserve if the rain's coming, you know? Maybe we should even start to push a little bit now, because if we anticipate that if we're anticipating the rain coming, then perhaps we can now start to take the life out of the tyres. Although it says 20% chance in 4 minutes. 20% chance in 4 minutes.
Understood.
It's touch and go. Is this wet weather? We need it to come a bit sooner. But we're going to go full push with both, or aggressive, is it? Yeah, aggressive with both of our cars now to try and see if we can catch up to this gap. Take as much out of our tyres as we can. We want to be coming in for those inters when we've exhausted these tyres. Which means that we've pushed them as hard as we possibly can. We don't want to leave any performance on the table here. Our last lap was a 1:37.4 compared to Joe's 1:36.7, so we'll see what the lap times are saying now. So 1:36.9 for Joe, 1:37.3, so still 0.4 faster on the last lap. We're 2 seconds behind. So yeah, they're definitely putting the pedal to the metal now, aren't they? And there we were. Oh, they're holding us up. They're holding us up. That train of cars behind us has now dissipated. But at least the good thing is that we're pulling away from Alonso. So this is a very positive sign. We've definitely got the pace on the Alpines on this track with our current new wing. So that puts us firmly, I would say, as the 4th fastest constructor behind the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, and the Alphas. So the 5th fastest, sorry. I think the Alphas are still faster than us at the moment. So that puts us as the 5th fastest car at the moment, at least on this track. It could be a different kettle of fish if it was a circuit like Monaco, which is a predominant low-speed circuit, which isn't our forte, compared to a higher speed cornering, for example. But hey, it might be Monaco race next, in fact. I think it is Monaco next. So we should compare and contrast the two performances. But yes, rain is coming. So we're in a nice little pattern now. So we're going to quickly speed that up, because we've dropped away from 6th position, and we have no intentions of doing anything too frisky with our two cars. They are free to race, and they are racing. Ricciardo has always seems to be looking at the back of Norris, doesn't he? Bless him. He looked at the back of Norris for many laps in Imola without passing him, and he's doing the same again today. So lap 15, 1 minute, 20% chance of rain, and we're pulling away from Alonso. We're not making too many inroads on the car ahead, so we're just going to...
Rain is expected.
Rain is expected. 75% chance now within the next 4 minutes. Okay, back to aggressive then. Back to aggressive. Here we go. The rain's coming. Rain is coming, folks. Let's see which teams react best to the rain situation, as look how close these two are in for first position. Leclerc and Verstappen going at it. Toe to toe, but currently Leclerc is the car ahead on the track. I'm sure when the rain comes, their strategies will diverge and there'll be all kinds of madness. There may even be a chance for Sainz to pull that 12-second gap back if the Ferrari strategists pull off a miracle. Perez back into 4th, having taken Sainz, but clearly Sainz has got back past Russell. Is just about managing to keep this guy at bay, and then here we are, just clearly waiting for rain to spice things up. Can we make up and leapfrog these two by coming in at the precise moment we have to do when the rain comes? We're not seeing any spots yet. Potter's still looking at the clouds, he's still trying to assess the situation. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Still pushing the tyres though. Pushing those tyres. Every last bit of life taken out of them. Now the issue that we've also got is our two cars are side by side. So there's two choices when the rain comes. We pit them one lap after another, or we double stack them. It all depends how much time you're going to lose by double stacking. You're probably going to lose about 3 seconds, right? By double stacking. Maybe 3 to 4 seconds. Are you going to lose 3 to 4 seconds staying out for an extra lap, though? That's the question. Depends how quick the rain comes. So we're going to have a little slight quandary on our hands when it comes to this situation. But Norris will get the preference because he's the car that's in ahead on the track. So we'll have to wait to see. Bottas is out of position. Qualified way down in the order. He should be round up here somewhere. So he's clearly itching to get past Gasly, but is struggling because Gasly is on the back of Alonso, and so it's just that kind of situation where you're stuck. But he's trying everything. He's trying high, he's trying low. It's just not happening for him. 1 minute, the rain is coming. Apparently, it better be. We've got like 13% of tyre life left, so we're gonna just turn it down. We've got lots of we've got a bit of engine pushing with Norris, which we can use when we need to. But for the moment, we're just. It's going a bit misty. Going a bit misty. We can. Spots of rain. But it's too early to come into. It's too early for Inters right now. It's too early for Inters right now. So this is rather unfortunate because if we were kind of roundabout where the Aston Martins are, I'd suggest we should have come in, or we could come in, whereas we're passing now, so we've got to do a full lap. So we're going to have to double stack them. Because I think that Ricciardo will lose more than 3 seconds staying out an extra lap. Right, we're coming in, boys. It's full attack. Although we should we really be full attack? Should we really be going full attack when the track is greasy? Is that going to be like... It's probably not, but just in case it is, I'm kind of nervous about doing that. They should be cautious. This track will be slippery. Yeah, look, they've actually done it. As I said, where the Aston Martins were, it was perfect for them because they can pit straight away. Whereas it was too early for us to pit. So they were in the optimal position when the rain came. So we're not going to benefit from this because everybody will pit this lap. But what we can do is we can take a look at what the Astons are putting on their tyres. Now they're double stacking. They have to do it. It's the best strategy. Are they putting on Inters or full wets? Full wets? They're putting full wets on. Interesting. What about the Williams? What are they putting on? This could be a sign. We have to be careful that we pit our guys, not forget. Otherwise it's game over. So, more than 4 mils of rain is classed as full wet weather. They're going on to wets as well. Holy cow. Hang on, folks. Hang on. The AI are telling me that this is going to be full wet weather conditions. I think... What do I think? I don't know what I think. See, this is an estimate. This isn't 100% accurate. These water levels. Oh, this is tough. Right, let's see what the leaders put on. Let's see what the lead. I'm still thinking Inters because I believe that the track will dry. You know, going on to wets and then changing to Inters in like 5 laps time seems a bit strange unless we're going to lose 20 seconds of time by being on Inters on a wet track. What was your original judgment, Baz? Right, we'll see. Too high for Inters. You're saying they're too high for Inters. We'll see what happens. By the time, let's see, I mean, if the leader... Yeah, look how slow they're... We're going to have to double stack. We're going to have to double stack. There's no choice here. No choice. If Verstappen puts on full wets, I'm probably going to put full wets on. Leclerc's staying out. See? This is what I'm saying about stupid decisions that the IME. The track is clearly wet, getting wetter. Verstappen's come into the pits, and you stayed out on dry tyres. Why? It's completely idiocy. I mean, I know it's Ferrari, but even for them, it's stupidity. Right, what's he putting on? We've got to be careful that we do not miss our pit window. Full wets. Everybody's putting full wets on. Yeah, full wet tyres are for really wet tracks and inters are for damp tracks. Although the inters are pretty decent, they can actually disperse quite a bit of water. So even on a track that is pretty wet, inters can still do a good job. But it's when there's a lot of standing water that the wets are clearly the best option. But given that like 5 cars have put on wets, I don't like to be a sheep and follow the crowd. But it's looking like it's going to be too wet. But look, I mean, it's not going to get much wetter than this, according to our forecast. And if it's 3 millimeters here, that's maybe going to be just over 4, and it's only going to get to that for a short time, and it's going to start to dry as the rain eases. I'm still tempted to put inters on. I might split them. I think it's probably the best strategy. I think I'm going to split them. Now, I'm going to give Lando the potentially favourable strategy, which is to put the wets on, and for Ricciardo, I'm going to take the risk of the risky strategy, which is to go into inters. And hope that the track dries or doesn't go too much above 4 millimeters of water. Let's see what Sainz is doing as a final. No, he's going to be too close to the pit line. Right, let's do it. Let's go with that strategy. We're gonna hedge our bets here. So full wets for Lando and inters for Daniel. I still think inters is our weather forecast center is a level 2, so it's 70% accurate, which is pretty decent. So both cars coming in. I'm going to split them. I'm still standing by my... Potter is standing by his strategy. Split them.
Yeah, confirm. Happy to box at the end.
Split them, split them, split them. Sainz, what's he putting on? It's too late. We've committed now, but he's putting inters on. Sainz is putting inters on. Oh, I'm telling you. No change of plan, Norris. I'm going all in here. Can we do it with him? I'm going inters with both. I think it's close, but the track is going to... This is probably as wet as the track is going to get, right? It's not going to get much wetter. Let's go with it. We're going with it. I'm following a Ferrari strategy who have decided to stay out on dries and put inters on. I mean, following the strategic blundering Ferrari is probably not the best idea, but you know what? My gut instinct is telling me inters. We're going to go with inters. Right, Norris is in. Putting inters on. Danny Rick's right behind him. We've got to double stack. We've got no choice. Verstappen out on wets. I don't think the track is going to get too much wetter. I could be wrong. It's going to get a little bit wetter here, but then it's going to level out and then peter out. So yes, we'll suffer. We'll suffer now. But when the track starts to dry... We were too slow with Lando. We'd missed the opportunity to change the strategy with him. He's gone on to full wets. Oh no. We missed unless I misclicked. Okay, well, we split the strategies. I'm telling you, inters is the call. I bet all these cars come out on inters. I'm telling you now. Yep, Norris is on in. Oh no. Was it Ricciardo? Oh! I could have swore blind I saw wet tyres. Am I going crazy? Am I going insane? I'm sure they put wet tyres on. Okay, clearly not. Clearly, maybe it was a glitch. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I don't know. Inters are better. Inters are not better right now because the track is wet, but I'm banking on it drying. So we're in 7th and 9th at the moment. Alonso's gone on to Inters. This is where I like this kind of situation, because the AI are kind of not sure. Inters, wets, what is it? We're not sure. Clearly the ones that are out on dries are idiots, and that's an AI blunder if you ask me. But Norris is... Now this is where we need to start looking at the lap times, because this is going to tell us roughly what our cars are doing in relation to wet runners. So Verstappen doing a 155 on wets. This is our out lap, so this doesn't count. So this is our first full hot lap on Inters. So let's see if we get anywhere near a 155. I mean, clearly we're going to pass the people on dry tyres. And we may have passed cars already on this lap, which is going to slow us down. So Verstappen now getting a 2 minutes and 6. 2 minutes and 6. 2 minutes and 6. So that 2:06 on full wets. So what's the Inters? Look, it's drying. Look, I'm telling you, Inters is the best call. The AR. What the? Get out there, flipping! Pass him, man! You bloody idiot! The man's a hazard. Inters is the call. It's not going to get much wetter. See, it's changing all the time, of course. But I'm saying Inters is the one. Inters is the call, man. I'm telling you now. And if it is the call, they're going to have to change onto Inters, which means we could be on for a podium here. I'm telling you now. Telling you now, folks. This could be... Danny Rick is just biding his time. Don't worry, Daniel. Don't worry, Daniel. It will come good. It will come good. Hamilton. What's Hamilton on? Hamilton is on full wets, and we're harassing him. So, yeah, race control. Now the full wets. So we're keeping up with Hamilton on our on our Inters here. So, you know, it's kind of the crossover point, really. 4 millimeters. Kind of the crossover point. But the reason why we're in the advantage right now is because, yeah, 2 minutes 8 compared to a 2 minute 6, but we did pass cars. We did pass cars. We did pass cars. Let's have a look at who's on what here. They're just losing track of this. So Inters. So Russell and Verstappen are on wet. So they're the times to watch out for. 145 on full wets, but a clear track. Interesting. Let's have a look what we do. Let's have a look what we can get up to. So Danny Rick obviously was hampered by a double stack. All the cars ahead of him pretty much are on wets, so they're going to have to pit again. Russell, look, pitting again. This is what I'm saying. They're now going to put Inters on. He came in for wets for 2 laps because the track were wet, and now they're going to bring Inters. They're going to put Inters on him. When the track is getting wetter, by the way. It's a very bizarre strategy, but hey. So I think the AI has a bit of an issue when it comes to wet weather. Right, okay, let's see. So far so good. Norris, let's look at the lap time. A 1:49. So still 4 seconds a lap slower than Verstappen. Of course, Verstappen's got a faster car. But yeah, I think the track is probably as wet
so this is P10
as it's going to be. Daniel's lost a position.
Looks like Aston Martin
Vettel
just gained a race position.
probably on wet tyres. Yeah, the wet tyres are working slightly better now. We'll give it that. That's not a problem. But we're banking on other cars having to come in for Inters later, which will be a 24-second time loss for the pit stop.
Big move for them.
So we're hoping that going on to the Inters early is going to help us. But so far the strategies are all over the place. Sainz on Inters gets a 147.9. Yeah, we're good. We're good. As long as it doesn't rain too much more heavily than this, we can really do with that track drying out as quickly as possible. You've got Joe all over the back of us, also on wet weather tyres, I'm assuming. Yeah, so we're losing out to the wet weather runners at the moment, unfortunately. But this was the plan. This was the plan. So let's not panic. Let's not panic. Let's just be patient. Our time to shine will soon come. Trust in Potter, and you will not go too far wrong. Although
Position gained for Alfa Romeo.
there we go. Yeah, you gain your positions. Don't bother us. Norris has got Perez all over the back of him. Perez also on the wet weather tyres, of course. It's fine. Glide on by, Mr. Perez. You glide on by. This track is drying soon enough. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. But for the time being, Norris in P4. Which is absolutely fantastic. I don't think he's going to be passing too many cars ahead of him because Sainz is already on Inters. Leclerc will be too far ahead and he can afford to pit for Inters and still come out ahead of us. Verstappen clearly well in the distance. Perez.
Yep. This is my pace.
Perez. We'll have to change tyres. So Perez
Aston Martin
might
with a great play
be
there.
able to finish
They've
ahead of him.
moved up a
But yeah,
place.
P4 would be the best that we can hope for today, I think. Unless there's some real blunders like safety cars or something like that. But Perez is struggling to pass us. Perez is struggling to pass us. Verstappen, Ricciardo is struggling on these Inters. Cars are passing him hand over fist. But just don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Trust in the process. Trust in the process. Yeah, look at how much time he's lost to Verstappen because he stayed out an extra lap on dry tyres. Absolutely outrageous. But he is on Inters, so if Verstappen has to pit, that 25 to 30 seconds, the gap will come down, but then he'll be on fresher tyres. Yeah, Ferrari have cocked this one up again. I'd say I'm surprised, but well. Look at that. Yeah, Perez is not making too many inroads into us, which is pretty good. So Bottas passing Alonso. So it's quite clear to see that the wet tyre runners are enjoying a slight performance advantage as things stand. But we're anticipating that advantage to wear off as the track dries. Hopefully within the next 3 or 4 minutes, for Ricciardo's sake, because he's probably getting. I wouldn't say his race is ruined.
Is that a new race position for
I don't think it's ruined. I think he's going to still be able to get round about here. It's hampered his race. Let's be honest. It has severely hampered. But I mean, he's lost less time double stacking than he would have done going out under the dries. Just look at Leclerc. I mean, he would have lost far too much time going another lap. What we could have done to prepare a little bit is we could have tried to push Lando on and conserve with Daniel to create a gap between them a little bit. That could have maybe helped a smidgen. Orchestrated a little bit of a gap to work into the 2 second or so gap so that the double stack wasn't quite so bad. But finally Perez is getting past Norris here. It's taking him long enough on the wet tyres. The track
Back in the rhythm now.
still just on the crossover point. The
Red Bull gained a place.
weather forecast is saying the track is about to start to dry, which is where hopefully we'll start to see where we come into our own. But yeah, Daniel is only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, about 10 to 12 seconds behind Alonso. So he should pass all of these cars and get up to at least 9th position. Because they're going to have to pit or go very slowly. So There's still some decent points to be had for Daniel today. Just has to be patient here. Play the long game. Short-term pain for long-term gain. That's what Potter will be saying in the radio, keeping him calm. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. I'm seeing it all in the stars. Okay, as soon as we get a bit of routine, I will speed this up a little bit. It's got 40 minutes to go yet. But whilst it's this variable weather, there's a lot of change going to happen very shortly. As the track now, look, is drying. We're now into inter territory. This is where the inters will start to outperform the wets now, as this gets drier and drier. So let's have a look at how Norris starts to close the gap back onto Perez now, as the tyres start to, yeah, look at that, 1.6. They're still pretty close. Until this goes down to around about, I'd say less than 3, maybe 2.5. That's Bottas is now coming in. He's going to put inters on. Vettel's coming in, putting inters on. So all the cars are now beginning to realise that the inter tyre is the best tyre to be on. And this is what the AI does. They take it quite literally. You know, usually the strategy usually is be on the right tyre at the right time. So, oh, it's going to be wet for 5 laps. We better put the wets on. And then after that 5 laps, let's go in and put the inters on now. When clearly that's not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is probably go in the inters in the first place like we have, persevere for those 5 laps, and then you're into long-term gain. Because look what's happening. They're all dropping through the field, having to make another pit stop. Verstappen, they're coming in for inters. So this is where Daniel Ricciardo's going to start to make up those positions. Joe and Mick Schumacher will be in. Russell, Alonso will be fine. Perez will come in too. So, yeah, this is... inters was the right call after all. See? Trust in Potter, people. Trust in Potter. He knows what he's doing, just about. Right, here comes the race leader. Plenty of gap to Leclerc, who's has closed the gap now, but will still find himself more than 10 seconds behind Verstappen. This race should be sewn up, barring any catastrophes. And we are gaining on Perez. The track is drying, and we are gaining. Nice gap to Alonso. So yeah, as I say, P4 is definitely on the cards here. And Perez is pitting, which opens the door for us, and off we go. Now then, the next thing that we got to worry about is, how far can these tyres take us? They can't take us to the end, so we're going to have to come in again, aren't we? So, I'm just debating whether or not we try to push. Now, us trying to push with Norris, we're not going to catch Sainz. We've got a nice gap to Alonso. It's going to put strain on our engine and stuff. I don't think we need to push. Whereas Daniel Ricciardo probably does. Because he's suffered a little bit. He's suffered a little bit with the double stack, so he's got a little bit more time to make up. So we're going to push with Danny. The track isn't going to fully dry. According to the forecast, the track is going to dry and then rain's going to come straight away again. So we're going inters all to the end. All the way to the end. I mean, you might argue that maybe putting the dry tyres on for a short time could be beneficial, but I don't think so. I think this inters for the entirety of the rest of this race is the best call here. But Ricciardo, now everybody should be on inters now, so this is where we are, and this is going to be the rough order that we hope to finish in, barring any major catastrophes. I mean, Bottas is behind Ricciardo, will have probably the pace on him, so he's got fresher tyres as well. So Daniel might find himself at risk here. But we'll see. There's no DRS, of course, in wet weather, so they have to work harder for their overtakes in the wet. So we'll see. But yes, just about clinging onto the back of Perez. 8th position, which isn't too far away from where he was before the pit stops, to be fair. So he hasn't lost out massively. It's just Norris has gained massively from the strategic foresight of Potter and his team. He's in a nice little gap now, just cruising around. So we shall up it to 2 speed. We're not going to go any faster than that. Just watch Daniel Ricciardo all over the back of Perez here, which is rather bizarre. We have the pace on Perez here. We are pushing Daniel, of course, which I suppose makes no sense because we can't get past Perez, so we might as well just follow the formation at this point. But Bottas is 2 seconds behind, so that's a gap that isn't doing too much decreasing at the moment, but it is now 1.9. Norris to Alonso 8.4, seems to be relatively steady. Tyres looking good. Track weather getting drier. Yeah, we've reached a little bit of a nice little lull in proceedings. Verstappen out ahead, 20 seconds is the gap. Absolute catastrophic strategy call there from the Ferrari boys, but the Aston Martins have benefited from some decent strategy calls because they're up in 12th and 14th position ahead of the Haas's. So that's worked out pretty well. Hamilton in 10th. That front wing being knocked off in qualifying has really hampered his race weekend, unfortunately. Russell in 5th, just about there, keeping Alonso at bay. He's making some inroads into Norris, but nothing overly concerning at the moment. We could push Norris if we wished when that gap comes to gets down to a certain level. Tyres are quite similar in wear. Ricciardo just about clinging onto the back of Perez. We've got Bottas coming like a... I say that he's not coming like a train. He is eking his way towards Daniel. I don't think he'll be able to pass though. As soon as he gets too close, we can put Daniel, give him a bit of extra engine mode and stuff. But for now, just enjoy 8th position. .4. D. Track drying. It'd be quite interesting to see if any of the other cars actually put dry tyres on. It would be a mistake, clearly. But, you know, when the track starts to dry and get completely dry, I bet you some of them go into dry tyres for a handful of laps, then come in and put another set of inters on. I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen. Completely flabbergasted if it doesn't happen. I'm telling you. Round about here-ish. Somebody's going to put some dry tyres on. Oops-a-daisy. I wonder if we could make these inters... No, I don't think we can make them last till the end. I mean, I'm just thinking. Can we? Can we make them last till the end? I think we could, you know. And we wouldn't have to stop again. Because if other cars are doing the same, yeah, that trajectory is looking like it's going to... These tyres will make it to the end. I think they're going to make it, you know. I think they'll make it to the end. I think they will. Everybody else has got better tyre condition than us, so I'm thinking these are making it to the end. Softs and mediums. I don't think we're going to get dry tyre running here. I don't think so. It could be an interesting last few laps of this race. If the track does get completely bone dry, even for 3 laps of dry running compared to 3 laps of inter running. Unless we do what Hamilton did in Turkey in 2020 and run our inters so they become slicks and then drive them in the dry. So Russell is closing that gap ever so slightly. So we just need to be careful. So we need to, yeah, we need to assess whether or not we're going to go to the end on these tyres. Because if we are, then we shouldn't push the tyres with Norris. Because if we start pushing the tyres, then we'll have to stop again. No. You know what? I think we're gonna stick with what we've got and see if we can run these tyres to the very end. I think that's the best bet. Anyway, Bottas has reached onto the back of Ricardo. Bottas has reached the back of Ricardo. I don't think he's going to have the pace to pass, though. He was only ever so slightly gaining on us, around about a tenth a lap, and that is not enough pace to pass. And without DRS on the straights, I can't see him passing us. Famous last words, of course, but I can't see it personally. Prove me wrong, Mr. Bottas, if you can. Prove me wrong, sir. But I don't think you're passing, pal. Yeah, I don't think he's passing. I mean, he'll harass him and hope that he makes a mistake, but I don't think he's passing us. So, well, yeah, but we might as well watch it because Norris is out all on his own, chilling out, you know. And we've got a little bit of pushing available with both cars when we need it. I just don't think we need it just yet. So, as you are, really, as you are, team. Keep going. Track is getting ever drier. But that's not a problem. Now, if the track does go dry, I wonder if that's going to wear our tyres out quicker, potentially. We shall see. But Norris is looking like he's coming up to a lapped car, I think. Is he? Who are we lapping? One of the Williams. Look at Ocon. Ocon's had a nightmare of a race. 18th position for Ocon. Terrible. So Russell is now 4 seconds behind. Okay, and we need to get past this back marker quite quickly, ideally on a straight so he doesn't hold us up too much. As we are lap 36 out of 57, 21 laps to go, and the weather is going to still have a part to play in the outcome of this because there's a strange little crossover point of dry weather running, as there's an issue in the first sector, but...
did someone run wide there?
Alonso has run wide.
Okay,
is it?
So there we have the Alpine.
Okay, nothing too major.
Oh dear. That's far wider than they would have.
He clearly lost some time, which puts him actually closer to Daniel Ricciardo, who's now only 3.1 seconds behind him. Is that going to get any closer? No. Yeah, 3.0. 3.2, 3.1. Okay. It's fine for now. Right, what have we got going on now? So we've passed the back marker. And Russell has to pass it as well. So that should hopefully mean that Russell loses a bit of time as well. Let's see how Russell gets past. You watch Russell pass him on a straight when it's nice and easy. I bet we got held up. Oh yeah, look at that, it's on a straight. No, twisty section, twisty section, twisty section. Ooh, slowing him down. Oh, nice one. Hold him up. Ah, you see, look at that. Hold. Blue flags waving furiously. There you go, now he lets him pass. So that's going to help us a little bit. Slowed him down a little touch. When does this series end? I'm thinking 2 seasons is more than enough. I reckon by next season we'll have a car that... I don't think we're going to have a car that's going to be like the fastest, but I think we have a car that we can probably go and have some decent success with next season. I'm not saying championship winning, of course, but, you know, just to be battling the front guys every so often will be enough. So, yeah. Ricciardo... Still holding off Bottas. Hamilton not making too many inroads there. Norris has got Russell gaining on him. But I don't think Russell's going to pass us either, to be honest with you. We could use engine mode, but that's just going to prolong matters, because we'll pull away a little bit, and then when we have to turn it off, he'll catch us again. So we might as well save it to defend with if necessary, if we have to micro. But as you're clearly seeing, passing is difficult in the wet on this track, so we should be okay unless they cock up, the drivers that is. So we'll let Russell close the gap, it's not a problem. We're not overly concerned. So that 40 out of 57, 17 laps to go. The tyres should last us, wrong button, to the end. We're trying to go long. I don't know what the AI plan to do. But they've got a better tyre life than we have. So I mean, if we're going to the end, then most of these guys will be going to the end too, I would imagine. So yeah, we've got to eke these tyres out to the end. We have to. It's going to be touch and go though. That line could be an issue. We could go light on the tyres with that. See if we go light on the tyres with Daniel. Let's see if that helps. But then push with the engine maybe, so we get a few laps of counterbalance. So that should help prolong the life of the tyres a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that for a couple of laps. Get these, just really try to make sure that these tyres take us to the end. So no signs of any pit stops yet. The track is... Ooh! Almost drove into the back of us there. You see that? Bloody fool. So going light on the tyres really does slow you down. And we've got Russell now right on the back of Norris as we try to conserve our tyres a little bit. We cannot afford to let either of these guys pass us, because we won't be getting back past them will be very difficult. So the track is beginning to get wet again. We anticipated that happening, and it's looking like it's going to stay this level of wet until around about that 48, 49, and then the track will start to dry relatively quickly. So the question is going to be, folks, do we come in for a dry tyre run of sort of 4 or 5 laps? I think it's too risky, is my personal opinion. I don't think we're going to make 20 odd seconds up by coming in maybe dry tyres there. I don't think we're going to make 20 odd seconds up. I could be wrong. Oh dear. Choices, choices, choices. Could be an interesting last 5 laps, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so we've got Norris holding off Russell, conserving tyres, just in case they have to take us to the end. So is Ricciardo holding up Bottas. Hamilton's gaining on both of us. We're going a little bit slower now because it is wet, and we're on inters, of course, worn inters at this point. So it's even more treacherous for us because we're losing some of our tread. Another thing, not that I wish drivers to spin out like every 5 minutes, but given oh sheesh. Hang on. So given that we are it's been wet and damp and wet, and we've got different tyres, and we've got to go, I would expect to see a few more incidents. We've not had a single spin, have we, really? We had Alonso go a little bit wide, but in conditions like this, I mean, you'd see a few more little incidents here and there. But anyway, Russell has passed us, which is
Maximum pace.
kind of gutting, really, because that shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. We're not going to get back past. I highly doubt it, unless we go aggressive, which we're not going to do.
If you can, push. Confirm.
That's a bugger. Anyway, Bottas is still behind Ricciardo at least. All because we're trying to avoid a second stop. Still not sure about this. So many questions. Do we go for a second stop? If we do, are we going to put a fresh set of inters on? Are we going to put a set of hards, a bit of the dry tyres on? What do we do? What do we do? No, you can't set the AI level in this. No. So the rain's going to ease in about 4 minutes, which is fine. Yeah, Russell is pulling away, so he obviously clearly has a better race pace than us. I still think we could have kept him behind, were we not conserving our tyres at the time. But it's fine, it's fine. So the order is still Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Norris in P5, and if we finish in P5, that will be a very, very good performance. We do have, however, a Red Bull of Perez behind us. It's going to keep an eye on that situation because we don't want to lose another position. Can we hold him off for 13 laps? He'll have a much quicker car than us, but it all depends on numerous factors. So 3.8 behind Alonso's, and here comes Hamilton to the back of this little train. Danny Rick nicely holding up proceedings. Right, we're going to go back to standard now and balanced.
Let's see what pace you can do.
With both cars.
Okay, gotcha.
And there we go. Norris still just about clinging on to the back of Russell. So Ricciardo is the one that we're most concerned about. We just need to make sure that he doesn't lose that position to Bottas. Doesn't look like he is. So we're going to go to 2 speed here. Quite comfortable with Norris. Just keep an eye on that gap to Perez. If that comes down too quickly, we're going to give Norris some pushing here. Okay, see you later, Cham. We'll be almost done. Only 12 laps to go. .5, 5.6. We've got that gap nicely steady. 5.1, 4.9, 5.1, 5.2. It's fluctuating quite a bit. 5.4. Yeah, I think Norris has got Perez covered here. 50% tyre life. The rain has completely stopped in the pit lane.
Okay.
Now the track will start to dry quite quickly. This is where we see what the other drivers are going to start doing.
Okay, the heavy rain has passed based on the radar. Heavy rain has passed.
Heavy rain has passed. Heavy rain has passed. 12 laps to go. What's going to be the plan, folks? What is going to be the plan? For the time being, the plan is take these inters to the end. That's the plan. That plan could change depending on just how quick this track dries. With anything less than 2 millimeters of water would be decent enough to bring the dry tyres on, I think. Especially seeing as the track will be getting drier and drier and drier. I might risk it with one of them. We'll see what the other cars do if they come in, but if the other cars come in, I might chance staying out and seeing if we can cling on. It'll be tight. I mean, mind you, these guys have got a pit stop on us anyway, so. But yeah, the track's drying. The track is drying. Right, Ricciardo still got Bottas all over the back of him. Hamilton can't quite catch Bottas at the minute, but that's good. We're gaining on Alonso. 2.6. That gap was over 3 seconds before, so we're gaining on Fernando here. Oh! What's happened? What's happened? What's he doing? Oh, it's the blue flags. It's the blue flags. Verstappen's lapped us. I'm thinking he was parking his car. Bloody hell. Give me a heart attack, man. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. What's the saying? Better to be safe than sorry, right? They're pretty good. They're really loud as well. I think you can put them around your neck and wear it as like on a chain or something. Some of them. So let's have a look. Perez is closing that gap, but I don't think he's closing it quick enough for us to be concerned. The track is still damp enough at the moment for Inters. Still looking at that percentage chance of us getting over the line here, and it's looking quite touch and go. I think we'll make it. Our tyres will be a bit knackered, but we'll get these tyres to the end. The question still remains: are we going to take them to the end? If we were going to risk it with anybody, we'd risk it with Ricciardo. I think we've got more to lose with Norris in fifth. There's Ricciardo. We can probably afford to take a risk. And for me, I think the risk is going on to the dries. I think that is the risk, because we'd have to pass other cars if they're staying out, and we only have like 4 proper laps of dryness. Can we make up an entire pit stop and pass cars in 4 laps? That doesn't seem realistic to me. A realistic prospect. Perez is now 3.7. He's catching a little bit more quickly than I'd like. Do we give Norris? Well, we can certainly give him engine mode for free. He's got the fuel to use it, so we might as well use it. Might hopefully just give us a little bit of a buffer. Can't really take any life out of the tyres, unfortunately. Oh, okay, there. Now Hamilton is on the back of this now, so that is as it is. 2.97 millimeters of water on the tracks. 45% tyre life, which is on a par with some of the cars near us. Perez has got better tyre life than us, so that's going to be a problem for Norris. Bottas has got better tyres, could be a problem for Ricciardo. But you have to pass us. Just make your car nice and wide. Park it on those apexes. .2. We've got 9 laps here. We're counting down, folks. It's tense stuff. We'll just be finishing this around about 10 past 11, I think. But are we going to make it to the end on these tyres? .6 millimeters. 3 seconds. I think we've stabilised that gap with the extra engine power. Somewhat. Lap times, let's have a look. Ooh, he's made 7/10 faster that lap. I mean, there could have been traffic involved, potentially. 2.8 seconds. as well give Daniel a push as well. I think we can probably push pretty much to the end of the race now with the amount of fuel we saved. How many races will 2 seasons be? There's 20... What? How many races in the calendar at the moment? It's 22, I think there's 22 races in the season. So that'll be 44. 44. Yeah, I might do the odd double race episode somehow or other. Right, we're getting, the track is drying. It's getting to the point where dry tyres could be feasible. Am I doing 2 seasons? Yeah, I think I'm doing the two seasons. I think that should be enough. We'll see how the second season goes and how long it takes, but I think we should have a pretty decent car in the second season if we follow our development path. I think to win the championship we need 3, to be honest with you. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Right, Perez is 2 seconds behind. There's 7 laps to go. The track is drying. We're now less than 2 millimeters here. The track is only going to get drier. Oh, this is like a grey area. I think in real life, I don't think anybody's putting dry tyres on here. I can't see it. I can't see it in real life. I think there's still enough water on the track. You'd lose far too much time. I mean, if there were like 8 laps of pure dry running, clearly that would be quicker. But for like 4, it's just not enough time to make that pit stop back. And we are now on the back of Alonso pretty much, so we've definitely closed. Got 10% tyre life left, which is more than enough to get us to the end of the race, clearly. Can we pass Alonso here? I'm thinking that we possibly can. I mean, we've been gaining. A little bit of a train forming behind us. But, well. Okay, so our engine mode isn't going to get us to the end of the race. No, clearly not. Norris now only 1.2 seconds ahead of Perez. I think we're going to save the engine mode
Big lifts
for when he's on the back of us, because we haven't got much else we can do here to defend against him. The track is now 1.4 millimeters. Is any of the AI going to come in for their stops? For dry tyres, sorry. If we were going to come in for dry tyres, now would be the time to do it. I think the track is almost dry enough now, and it's only going to get drier. So if we were going to do it, it'd have to be now. It'd have to be now. 1.28 millimeters. It's positively dry. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? He's 22 seconds behind Perez, right? No, Ricciardo's here. So we'd put him out probably around about 12th. Do you know what? With Ricciardo, it's probably worth the risk, you know. It's probably worth the risk. Pit options. Fresh set of softs. He's going to come out in 11th. So we're going to lose 3 positions, but we're going to be on fresher tyres, dry tyres, last 3 laps. They'll be on worn inters. We'll be at least 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster. It's risky, but do you know what? Let's give it a try with him. Split the strategies.
We'll box this lap, box this lap.
We're going to split the strategies. Could be a mistake, but do you know what? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Still think that staying out on inters is the best call, but with Ricciardo, I mean, we're giving up 2 points here. Ooh, Perez. Right, Norris, push. These tyres are really going to struggle to make it to the end. We're taking out about 3% per lap. And there's 5 laps. Right, Ricciardo's in the pits. Onto a set of softs. The track is drying all the time. The track is drying all the time. Now this is going to be the interesting call here. A risky call, but are they going to make it work, the McLaren boys? I mean, he might just finish back where he started, but we'll see. But if these guys do decide to come in, we've got the potential jump on them because we've come in earlier. So we'll see. We'll see. Verstappen is the lead car, so if he comes in, I'm sure everyone will follow suit. But I still believe pootling about on Inters is the best course of action. I mean, Norris has got a wonderful gap to fall back into. So it's almost like a free pit stop for Norris as well, you know. It's almost like a free pit stop for Norris because he'll lose Perez. He'll lose the position to Perez. He might also lose to Alonso. Do you know what? I'm coming in this lap with Norris. I'm coming in with this lap with Norris because it's almost like a free pit stop at this point. Because we only lose like 1 position. 2 positions. 10th. Am I reading that wrongly? 10th. Hang on. Cancel that. No. Cancel. 10th. He loses... No, he's 22 set. Oh, there's all these guys all together in a line, aren't they? Ah. Yes, we'll fall to the back of that train. We're going to lose it. We're going to lose that to Perez anyway, aren't we? Or are we? Oh God! This is. I mean, the best thing to do is see Daniel's time. Laps. Can't even see his split times, can we? To see how quickly he's going. Are we getting a sense of how well he's driving here on this damp track with soft tyres? Do we get an idea? Okay. I don't know. We'll have to see what lap time he gets. Albon's coming in. Probably putting dry tyres on. Do you know what? Screw this. Screw this. Screw this. Screw it. We're doing it. In you come, Norris. Dry tyres. We're doing a dry tyre stint here. Soft tyre stint.
Box this lap, please.
The track is drying. We're going to chance it here.
Yeah, I'm happy to box at the end.
Oh! Perez is pitting too.
Okay, understood.
So, yeah, they're all pitting.
And
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Phew. But this is where Daniel should be able to make an inroad here because he's coming a bit earlier. So, hopefully... So, Norris is leaving the pit lane in 6th position, still behind Perez. But there's Ricciardo. There's Ricciardo coming round. Maybe we might have been a lap too soon for him, but I didn't know if everybody else was going to do the same thing, so we may suffer here, or is he going to pass everybody else? Is he going to pass everybody in the pits here? Yes, he is! Yes, he is! He's made up those positions by coming in early. Look at that. He's now in P7. He's now in P7. He's made it stick. He's made it work. Balanced. Beautiful. Now Norris hasn't gained any positions because Perez was going to pass us anyway. But you know, it was as you were, I suppose. But hello, Shahan, welcome.
Okay, Lando, Science has pitted.
Science has pitted. Where's Science? Oh, can we pass them? Oh, we're too far. No, we're well too far away. They had plenty of gap on us, didn't they? Russell, Perez. So everybody should be on soft tyres now, apart from Tsunoda, who's clearly missed the belt there. So yeah, it was right to come on dry tyres. I didn't think it was going to work out that way, but it did. In Potter we trust. Just about. There was a lot of
Save fuel from now,
there's
please.
a lot of debate on the pit wall. Do we, don't we? But clearly, I mean, driving around for 4 laps on Inters in this would have been foolish. Yeah, that's fine. So where's Ricciardo? He's got a nice little gap to Alonso behind him. Norris has only got his teammate behind him, 20 seconds behind him. Perez is ahead. So you know what that means, folks. Attack, 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 attack. Let's go, Mr. Lando. Let's see if you can make any inroads to Mr. Perez here. Let's see how fast we really are. Ricciardo could just cruise on to the finish. I might put him on aggressive, just in case. But let's ride on board here. 1.2 seconds is the gap. We're giving him as much pushing as we can possibly give him right this instant. DRS probably won't open before the end of the race. But just in case that it might open for a couple of laps, we could really do with getting to less than a second. Which we are just about doing, I think. And there's a lap car in front of Perez, which might slow him down a little bit. Now we're less than a second, so let's see. Will we get DRS for a lap or two? In real life, they are pretty slow in allowing the DRS after wet weather. Imola springs to mind. Norris, fastest lap of the race.
4 laps to go.
Bonus point. Ho ho! Yes, we timed both pit stops pretty much to perfection, to be honest. Right, we're praying for DRS. If we can get DRS on Perez, we might be able to sneak past him on one of the straights. I'm going to save some engine mode now, just in case we can. But we've got lots of tyre life, of course. Ricciardo's got 3.6 to Bottas, 3.5. He's got a little bit of engine mode that he can use. So we're now 0.8 seconds to Perez as we count down the last 3 laps of this race. Can we make it to P5? I mean, P6 is a damn good result for us, and 7. Let's not forget Paul Ricciardo. 5th, 6th, and 7th, a fantastic result. Let's not be greedy here. But there's a 5th place right there, just right there in front of my eyes. Come on. So we're in the slipstream here. Just having a little bit of a jink out. Oh, the back markers get. That's. Oh, you idiot! Just stop your car in the middle of the track. Why don't you like a little old lady or something? Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that should. Yeah, bloody points on your licence, you silly fool. That's pretty much screwed us over at this point. That's definitely screwed us over. Better be careful with Ricciardo here. Bloody fuel. You're back, Cham. You're back. You missed it. You missed it. Yeah, 1 lap less for us. We put the dry tyres on, Cham, at the precise right moment, which lifted Ricciardo into 7th position. We lost out to Perez, but we were always going to lose out to Perez anyway, so... Hello? What's the matter? What? Oh, I'm finishing in 2 minutes. Yeah. Who's got the fastest lap? Oh, Leclerc's got the fastest lap. We had it for a brief moment as well. Would have been nice, wouldn't it? So where is Verstappen? Verstappen will be crossing the line to take part in the final lap.
Look after the fuel.
Fuel is looking a bit ropey for Daniel all of a sudden. Yeah, we ain't getting anywhere near Perez, are we, at this point? Might as well...
2 laps to go.
Might as well just call it off.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Call off the charge. Call off the charge. It'd be a bloody miracle if it passed him at this point.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
So Verstappen is looking like he's going to take his first race victory of the season so far. Leclerc in second, Sainz the championship leader in third position. Never looked likely to lay a glove on the victory here today. Russell ahead of Perez due to a strategy call, it must be, because there was no way he was getting there on pure pace alone. And the McLaren boys 6th and 7th. I mean, fantastic result. Their new wing working well, and strategic calls working well too has lifted them into a very favourable position. Bottas gaining on Daniel Ricciardo, which does still confirm to me that we're behind the Alfa Romeos. But I think we're ahead of the Alpines potentially on circuits that suit us. Monaco will be a proper test. Lots of low speed cornering there. We'll see how we fare. But with a floor to come in 12 days or something, a rear wing to come, you know, the future's looking bright. The future is orange. Who remembers that advert? Oh, his fuel is better now.
This is the last lap.
So Verstappen has crossed the line, which means that as soon as we cross the line, it will be race over for us because we've been lapped. Oh, we've crossed the line. So Daniel Ricciardo will finish the race before Norris does, technically speaking, because as soon as we cross the line, Ricciardo has finished. Norris hasn't been lapped, so he has to finish his final lap. But we'll ride on board with Norris.
Good job, Daniel. Good job.
Because a well-earned...
have ACS off and H4 1. White H4 position 1.
What? H4 position 1. Yeah, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, Norris. Let's enjoy and savour this moment. A step forward seems to have been made by McLaren here today. 6th position. It's a little bit of a strategy call, but our pace has been good. Norris qualifying, was it 7th we qualified? So clearly we have the pace today at this weekend, really, at this circuit as we're coming down the back straight one last time here in Miami. Miami, sunshine, beautiful weather, but not today. Grey clouds rolled in and spiced the race up a little bit. There we go, final few corners. This is a very good haul of points. So yeah, coming over the line now, Lando Norris taking home 6th position.
It's a checkered flag. You can keep pushing if you want to.
Good job.
Great job, mate. Great job.
Look at that. Look at that. In fact, we're the last car to cross the line.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him.
Whee!
McLaren have shown some serious chops here. A good result for the team from Surrey.
Some
I wouldn't be
serious
surprised if
chops.
the team's performance today won them a lot of new fans.
And after this result, the team is 4th. in the
Fourth.
Constructors'
Have
standings.
we gone up a position?
Formula One will be back to Europe.
Oh, we're in
this
Spain
round
next.
On the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
Who wouldn't love a bit of Spain, right? The rain in Spain, better staying on the plane. Right, okay, so here is your final classification. We know it now, we've seen it. But let's have a look at how it impacts the driver's standing, shall we? So Carlos Sainz losing a little bit of ground, or Leclerc gaining ground rather on Sainz by 4 points, but Sainz still firmly in control of the Drivers' Championship for now. Nice haul of points for Max Verstappen, but he's got a long way to go to get back into this championship fight. And Lando with another 8 points there, taking him to 37th position in the standings, and Daniel Ricciardo with a nice little haul of 6 there. So that's pretty nifty indeed. Constructors then. So McLaren moving up above Alfa Romeo, getting 10 more points than them this round. So 10 points ahead we are. We were level on points as we were going into this race. So very good indeed. Very good. I'll be happy with 5th position, to be honest with you, this season. But if we can eke 4th position, well, I tell you, That would be quite an outstanding achievement. But we will have to continue to work hard because it's still only early days, but some good points picked up. And that was even without using Lando's development point that we had going spare with him. Now he has 2 points, so we better use those. So here we go. We got some driver bonuses, unfortunately, but still bringing back some nice cash and meeting all of our sponsor targets as well. So there we go. Our final spare front wing has been built. Thankfully, they haven't knocked our front wing off. 11 days until the race at Catalonia. Will our floor be ready? Yes, it will, because it's going to be ready in 8 days, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do an emergency manufacture, which means we will manufacture it on the same day that it's made, but it will cost a lot of more money. But I want this floor ready for Barcelona. So in the next race, we shall have a new floor to go with our wing. So Alfa Romeo boys, if you think we've stepped the game up now, wait till you see us in Catalonia. So that's going to be fun to see just how much performance that new underfloor gives us. So we'll see. Fun times to be had. Fun times to be had indeed. So what we're doing to finish the session off, let's have a look. Front wing manufactured, post-race review, exceeding expectations. Of course we are, you fools. Of course we are. Our final act for the session is to give Lando his 2 development points. Now, random number generation is clearly the key here. So let's get that done, shall we? So let's see where Lando's points are going. Come on, come on. Right, well, we've got 9 points to put, 9 areas. Number 4. So his accuracy going up by 1, and also 7. His adaptability also going up by 1. So he's getting a bit better in poor weather conditions and better at following the racing line. So there we go, chaps and chapesses. That, I would say, was quite a nice little successful session. So yes, thank you for joining me. I need to go for a wee. I'm quite desperate actually. And then a cup of Earl Grey tea in my new Pathfinder Kingmaker mug. And then yes, next race will be a recorded session. We'll hit the Barcelona circuit, one of the old school long-standing circuits on the calendar, and we'll see what our floor does for us. But yeah, good times ahead for the McLaren boys, I feel. Potter is working his charm. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good week. Tomorrow we'll be streaming CK2 and we'll take it from there. But thank you all for watching, and until next time, see you soon. Why is it so quiet? The music. Anyway, enjoy.